There are ministries that do not have permanent secretaries as of now. The most senior director has to be handed over the mantle of leadership of that particular ministry. And in a validated nature of this validated session of this nature, I don't know how to start it, whether from my left or from my right, or to call you the way I deserve. So let it not be that let's start from the left, from the Attorney General's side. Thank you. And in the validated section, you have to stand. The validated section must, you don't need to sit down, because you have to speak not as per ESCO, but as per the administration. Thank you very much. And you have allotted only 3 minutes, not more than 3 minutes. I hope all the national televisions are hooked on. Are they hooked on? No, are they hooked on? Not that they'll be hooked on.
I call it sworn in on the floor of this chamber as a member of the that's what the 27th of October 2018. That's what on the 10th of June 2022. That's what the 10th of June 2022. And all that is when they was called the undesirable privilege. Because all things are enjoyed from the essence, which is all happening within the South Chamber and the leader of the South for almost 4 years and 8 months. For this, for all the common generosity and kindness we can be found within the planning of the university. This aspect has been most remarkable. Have had to learn the man's view of how to apply more deliver publicly. I have learned from you the virtues of divided rulers, commitment to duty, selfless service, tenacity, boldness, courage, capacity for delivery. I have learned from you that daily determination, hard work, and grace of God, so things to have achieved. We are indeed an institution. We deserve to destroy it by common papers and service. That is not just of council. I think I have the word of John Davis to say that as a member of the National for Justice of River State, who achieved law officer, we do no breaches, we raise no dollars, we consult the wages for the master government. Indeed, there is a lot of what we did that kind of man received. But councillors, as minister, we defended and prosecuted matters both civil and criminal. We provided legal documentation that guarantees are regulated with construction of bridges and roads. We ensured compliance with our rules and regulations.
1 minute more.
And through our team of the South District, we ensured protection and defense of our property, including our value assets, all the levels of authority. We laid the struggle for the institution of our federal system, such as we are taking independence of our state after the master state. We contribute this smooth administration of this body through the legal services. As the courting draws on our membership of this Congress Council, we state very confidently that we are proud and privileged to be part of the administration, particularly part of the nation of the university, driven by the university. For all honorable colleagues, thank you for your attention. So I love your cooperation. All our assignment authority, you know we are both on the design of it. Thank you for this support.
Yes, Commissioner Agriculture.
Your Excellency and members of Council, I want first of all to start by quoting from a very popular poet and artist from America. She was called Maya Angelou. She said, I have learned that people will forget what you said, People will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel. Sir, you have made us feel very good. The honor you have given us, particularly myself, who through your hands, I was made commissioner of finance and also commissioner of agriculture. I served with you for 8 years. And this is a rare privilege that cannot be taken for granted. This privilege has made me have the benefits of becoming a very important figure in this state. Just like I said, we went to left as chairman of council, and the day were away, and I said, the matter is not the money you earn, but just the glamour that surrounds the office. History will have it that one time I've been commissioner in these different positions. And it is that honor lavishly given to me through your hands. Thank you very much, sir, for this very singular privilege. I've learned a lot within this period that we worked here together. I'm privileged to have known for 24 years today. And from 24 years to today, it has been non-stop a relationship. And I've seen a lot and learned a lot through your hands. The political circle, you have learned it and understand the rules to the extent that sometimes I wonder where to hold such strength. Your courage, your sagacity, your dexterity, and your ability to mobilize human beings and resources is something to write about. If you look at this house, there are abundant to see that there are more than 10 doctors, more than 10 lawyers, more than 10 doctors, and other professionals, but they are able to manage everybody. You know what to say, what to do, who to follow, ability to identify differences, and you have shown it so much. Within the setup of what we have here, you know everything in every field. You are learned by profession. But if you come to accounting, you know. You come to business, you know. You come to mobilizing people, you know. Just like, I'm going to mention today. If you go out to know the support you have from the people, you see the very raw and organic support that people show to you. Because they appreciate you and they will be missing you for this time. Sir, I want to tell you that the courage you have shown over in politics, I have never seen somebody who understands this game and show that organism. You have shown us that you can do anything that you are big enough to do as far as you show your courage and have that dexterity. And that was shown from the way you have managed all that activities was in this place. Like I said earlier, that the quality of the people that are here, even when we are coming for expo, sometimes we become very careful within ourselves. We sign what we call non-aggression pact with some people. If your memo is coming, please be careful. Don't talk about my memo. Because some people, like some of my friends, particularly somebody at the health service, we attack it from the beginning to the end. So you go to meet him and say, please, my memo is coming. Don't edit it. Because they know a lot about it. But anybody that comes to this expo, no matter how many you have, you used to say it that in the schools, that is theory, that the practice when you come here is a different ball game. Everybody comes here and they respect your views and their tenacity. So I really want to appreciate you. I want to say that you are doing up to the very student.
1 minute.
Everybody comes here and they read. Anytime they say there's expo, everybody goes to read. And when they read, because the questions you can ask from anybody, and it becomes very difficult to know exactly what it is, but it is an experience that is worthwhile. So I want to thank you that this honor that you have done to us and to me in particular and my family, it will be taken on a very serious note. And I assure you that to end up, I taking the stand that is written in the book of Ruth, chapter number 1 and verse number 16, which said, "Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. My people shall be my people, and thy God shall be my God." Thank you very much, sir.
Commissioner and Chieftaincy.
Your Excellency,
3 minutes.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, the Chairman of the Executive Council of Rivers State. It is with lots of excitement and fulfillment that I made these few remarks on this occasion of our valedictory session. Your Excellency, apart from serving the committee itself, the evaluation of privately owned schools in the state, I must say that I never really had any direct working relationship with you until my appointment as a coach. Within this short period, I've learned a lot as a member of the State Executive Council, which is the highest level I have served so far in my career. Most lessons I have learned, however, are from His Excellency himself. Your Excellency, I've seen in you indeed a man who knows what it takes to execute the office of God. You have always had a grasp of the issues presented to you, whether on the floor of vessel or during other interactions. You are quick to understand and quick to correct us, and also to us. You have a wonderful memory. So it is difficult to misrepresent any issues before you. You have undoubtedly managed available resources very, very well to achieve lots of results, such that in spite of you being the biggest critic of the federal government, your achievements are so clear that the federal government cannot afford not to recognize you. Yes, you have operated a balanced government, showing fairness to all shades of people in the state. You have engraved your name in gold, where the numerous projects you started and completed during your time. I personally think that the number of projects flagged up and those commissioned by your administration deserve to find a place in the Guinness Book of Records. For the Minister of Chieftaincy and Community Affairs, we applaud you for so far being the governor who has recognized the largest number of traditional rulers in the state at 150 days. This has expanded the horizon for the traditional institution and has added color and has given more confidence to our constituents. Yes, we are very grateful. You have equally, by deliberate policy, remembered several illustrious songs on founding fathers of Rivers State. We have named several landmark projects after them. Above all, we have the requisite courage needed to be a leader. For the 8 years of your tenure, you single-handedly became the face of opposition in this country, and as such, became the face of democracy, both national and international. The beauty of it is, even your critics acknowledge that you are very constructive. Once more,
30 seconds.
Once more, I consider it a great privilege to have worked with this great team. And it's important that I mention, yes, that it has been a wonderful experience working with you for these 7 months. Thank you. God bless you.
Commissioner Commerce, 3 minutes.
Your Excellency, I want to thank you for giving me this wonderful opportunity to serve in the State Executive Council. There's a saying that when you don't get to the root of the country, you will not know that the day is right, the fruit is right until you get there. Your Excellency, I'm amazed. Indeed, this opportunity understanding of what governance is all about. Your Excellency, I'm amazed at how virtually you know all the town and villages in Rivers State at your fingertips. This was demonstrated each time in the Executive Council meeting when discussions had to be taken on communities where the roads will connect. Surprisingly, we are mentioning the names of the respective communities, especially the Pascal Road, and it will possibly impact as if they are within your community. Thank you, Your Excellency. May God bless you and your family and good people of Rivers State. Thank you, sir.
Tourism, culture.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State and Chairman of the Council, members of the Executive Council, gentlemen of the press. Your Excellency, today I give God all the glory. Life they say is a journey. And to the glory of God, Your Excellency, you have journeyed so well. And your footprint lives on. I can't be mentioning everything for River State and the country, because if I start today, we won't only be here today. Your footprint lives on. Today I bring you the love and felicitation from the stakeholders in the culture and tourism sector. The people of Akutoro, my family, my beloved daughter, and the good people of River State. Today, I will be a little bit personal. Please, Your Excellency, permit me, and I do hope, I pray I don't shed tears. The support you gave to the Ministry of Culture and Tourism has brought River State in that sector in a limelight. You made millionaires in this sector. You taught them how to fish. And Your Excellency, I'm very grateful for the opportunity you gave to me. Your Excellency, you also made River State entertainment sector, Ministry of Culture and Tourism, champions. When we go out for competitions, people are eager and wondering what River State is bringing on board. Your Excellency, we walk with our shoulders up higher because of the support and commitment for the entertainment sector. Not only that, Your Excellency, NAFES has been in existence before you came on board as Governor of River State. Your Excellency, NAFES has been known and to be seen as just an ordinary inter-house force, like the secondary school normally do their sports activities. Your Excellency, you changed the narratives of NAFES in Nigeria. 2018, you hosted the best ever NAFES in Nigeria, and to date, no state has beat that record. All is because of your commitment and support for the sector. Your Excellency, I appreciate you for that. You never left culture and tourism out of the scheme of things in River State. Excellency, I want to, like I said, I want to be personal today. Your Excellency, my political career that was conceived by my late husband is being sustained by you. You did not only sustain my political career, I was nominated. You did not only accept me, you retained and sustained it. Excellency, I've been serving the people since your administration. And I want to tell you that my family is very grateful, the people of Agriculture is very grateful, and I know River State is very grateful for that. Your Excellency, my daughter, who is 20 years of age today, sends her love and regards. And I will say it because she was 6 years old when I lost my husband. And when she became 10 years, she said to me, "Mom, I want to be a doctor. Can you still make me a doctor since that is no more?" And I said to her that God will provide. Yes, sir, you gave me the platform to take the duties of parental responsibilities. I want to thank you. And today I want to let you know that my daughter is in pre-med and she's doing very well. And she said, "Mom, I'm going to be a news job." Yes, let's say thank you so much. I appreciate you.
30 seconds, 30 seconds.
Your Excellency, this platform has also given me an opportunity to invest in my constituents to the best of my ability. I want to appreciate the leadership of Agriculture, more especially Chief Federal and Labraba for this opportunity. I want to appreciate Rivers people for the support they gave to me as Commissioner for Culture and Tourism. Your Excellency, I remain loyal to you. I so believe in your trust and commitment for the new River State. My principal, I trust and I do know that I will continue to learn from you. Thank you very much. God bless you. Just know that you lead and I follow. Thank you so much. God bless you.
Yes, education.
Your Excellency, Executive Governor of River State, other members of the State Executive Council, thank you for this wonderful opportunity to address this council on this special on auspicious occasion. I want to start on a note of appreciation to the Almighty God for the gift of life and the privilege He has given to me to serve the state as the Honorable Commissioner for Education. Yes, I also want to thank you so very much for deeming me fit to be appointed as a member of the Executive Council and to serve as the Honorable Commissioner for Education. I'm not the best, but I don't know what you saw in me that made you to draw me close and serve with this great responsibility. I also want to thank other members of the Executive Council for all their encouragement and support. Today I have mixed feeling even as I made this address. I have mixed feeling because coming from where I came from, the university, and serving in the State Executive Council, I've got a little gap. There will be more of theory, here is more of practicals. Coming here today, I have enriched myself with knowledge and experiences which I will not take for granted because of your excellency. I've learned commitment. I've learned hard work from you. I've learned to be meticulous. I used to take many things for granted. But learning from them to read in between the lines. I wonder when you have time to do all this, you always spot out any error in any memo, even financial ones. I wonder the kind of person you are made of. I have learned a lot from you in this regard. I've also learned sincerity. I've learned to be bold and courageous a lot from you. Yes, you are a great administrator. I say administrator par excellence. In the midst of education, I felt as an education icon. Whenever I had the privilege of holding the microphone, and I say you have done wonderfully well in the education sector in River State. We are very grateful. On behalf of the Minister of Education, Excellency, thank you very much for what you have done for us. I want to say you're a great motivator. I'm motivated by you. You read every time 12 o'clock. Well, not like you go from sleep. Even if 5 a.m. you read. I say, me a professor. I'm not sure I've even read the way you have read. But I've learned to go back to read more because that's what I'm learning. You're a go-getter. Yes, even despite how people perceive you, you are a man of compassion. We have made mistakes. I've made mistakes in the past. I get scared. But you're a man who has large heart to accommodate even our mistakes. Yes, on this occasion, I'm sorry. I'm probably for other ways I have failed you. That have not lived up to the expectations of me. I'm human. Kindly forgive me. And I promise to improve myself when opportunity comes to my way next time. Yes, once again, on behalf of my family, I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity serving you within the 10 months and about 13 or 12 days I have served as the Honorable Commissioner of Education State. And I pray that God will also bless you in your future political careers and endeavors. Wherever you need me, I'm at your service. Thank you very much and God bless you, sir.
Yes, Commissioner for Empowerment and Employment. Yes.
The Excellency and the member of the Executive Council, the Excellency, I want to thank you on behalf of me and my family and the Ministry of Employment and Empowerment. The Excellency, I want to thank you for the peaceful atmosphere that they have given to the private sectors in River State. The Excellency, I want to thank you for this ongoing employment that is going on now. At the end of the day, I know that River State people will be very happy. The Excellency, on behalf of me and my family, they have done so much for me. 2017, I was a caretaker. After then, I now become a secretary to the Awoda West local government before my appointment, this appointment comes. Excellency, I want to thank you. On behalf of my family, I want to tell you thank you. May the Almighty God guide you and protect you.
Yeah. Engineers.
Your Excellency, Chairman of Council, Council members, I was sworn in on the 26th of October 2022. And it has been a process of acquiring more knowledge and experience in this period of 7 months. Though with the support of my ministry personnel, I was able to resolve pending issues and conflicts, such as conflict between Shell, SPDC, and Indorama, Shell SPPC and Bodo City in Canada government that lingered from August 2022, stopping Shell from carrying out their maintenance work on the Trans-Niger Pipeline, TNP, in the community. The ministry was also able to resolve the internal workers issue that lingered for weeks in January 2022 between Indorama Petrochemical Company, Eleme, Lupeng, and Ufampi, which made it impossible for the company to carry out operations during the period of conflict. I was also able to checkmate petrol station retailers from inflating the price of petroleum products from the period of January to March 2023, when the farm owners in the state had limited supply of petroleum products. I also had a robust working relation with the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission, the Petroleum Retail Owners Association, and the IPMA towards steady supply of petroleum products and sales during and after the period of scarcity. And by the grace of God, I led my ministry to the River State House of Assembly in December 2022 to defend the ministry's budget for the year 2023. You are a man, Your Excellency, worthy to emulate. I also appreciate my leader, and members of the ESCO for their support they have given to me. On behalf of my Ministry of Energy and Natural Resources, the good people of Omuma Local Government, Rivers State, and my lovely family, I use this medium to thank you, Your Excellency, for giving me the opportunity to serve in your cabinet as Commissioner for Energy and Natural Resources. And I also look forward to more and better opportunities to serve the people of Rivers State in the future. Thank you, Your Excellency, and God bless you.
Commissioner Environment.
Your Excellency, Chairman of Council, respected members of the Council, pressmen here, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, I'm using this opportunity to thank you for the privilege you've given unto me to serve as a member of the State Executive Council. Your Excellency, I've known you from a far distance, far back 1999 when we came in, when the democratic experience came into Nigeria after a long period of the military era. Your Excellency, you were voted in as a chairman of council, while I was as a member of MOL Legislative Council at the time. After that period, Your Excellency, I've never had the opportunity to come close working with you. But at all times, I have had this, I've always admired you from a far distance until this opportunity came on the 26th of October 2022, when I was sworn in here in this Allen chamber as a commissioner, and later was designated to and sent to the office of the Ministry of Environment. Your Excellency, within the period I've come to work with you, it has been a moment that has made me to see capacity from different angles and to know that human beings are of different shades. Your Excellency, I thought that some of us who were practicing as lawyers, going day and night working, thought that we were working enough until I came to meet a man like you. And I now was taught a different level of work. I've come to know that 24 hours of the day is meant for work. Through this little engagement or this short time engagement with you. And it has empowered me to know that I have a lot of abilities in me that are yet untapped, which I need to develop. Your Excellency, it is also important I point out that the training patriotic leadership you have enthroned in leadership is something endearing to some of us. Within this period of your government, we have stopped hearing anything called inter and intra-ethnic conflict. It never existed anymore in Rivers State. But prior to this time, it has been a factor that you hear from one period to the other, one ethnic group is fighting another ethnic group, or one ethnic group is fighting within themselves. This is as a mark of your defined policy in leadership, and that has made Rivers State to be stable. Your Excellency, it is also important for me to point out that I've come to note that there is a disappearance in the lexicon of Rivers State, which we call upland and riverine dichotomy. That phrase or language is now in extinction in the dictionary of Rivers State. You have galvanized Rivers people to make us see that all we need is to be in unity and move the state forward. And that is what has been giving Rivers State the mark we have today. Your Excellency, it is also important to point out that you have given Rivers State an image that is quite unique in the country Nigeria.
30 seconds.
Your Excellency, may I at this point say that all this we have learned, we are going to invite them into me and to grow with this at the back of my mind, that leadership is all about trying to groom up people which you have gathered us together and brought us here as a people to work together and see a reason to build synergy. Excellency, on this note, I also wish to convey the outputs of members of the Ministry of Environment and the leadership of Local Government area, who also gave me this opportunity by nominating me to you.
Time up.
Thank you.
Yes, Finance.
Your Excellency and Chairman of Council, Your Excellencies, distinguished members of the Rivers State Executive Council, gentlemen of the press, ladies and gentlemen. Your Excellency, our dear state has a population of over 6 billion. So I and one of my colleagues is here because of ability, competence, or capacity. We are here because of your love. We are here because of your trust. We are here because of your belief in us. So on behalf of myself, my family, and the people of Elena, I'd like to thank you for the opportunity of the flag. I've been part of your administration since 2015 to now. And I was selected and I've traveled through the Ministry of Budget and Economic Planning. And from 2019 to now, the Ministry of Finance, with responsibility for budget and economic planning. I'd like to thank you and place on record that by your guidance and blueprint, we have been able to deliver on the mandates of these respective ministries. We have, through your support and encouragement, being one of the best states assessed by the International Accredited Rating Agency budgets as a state with the best fiscal budget performance in the country for the past 6 years. I thank you. I celebrate you, my dear Governor, because you have an extraordinary person. As Commissioner for Finance, I confide and confess to you that you have more funds outside Rivers State than you have here. Many Nigerians see you as the voice of truth, the voice of integrity, and the fact that when you say yes, it is yes. This goodwill, extraordinary ones, have made my assignment relatively easy. I have knocked on doors, and they have been opened purely because I am coming from you. I have made requests and they have been honored, again because I'm coming from UK. And I have protested and I have been listened to, also because I'm coming from UK. I really thank you. I celebrate you, sir. In the course of duty, I have had cause and through your guidance to lift up areas where we thought it was never possible. I thank you because you have made us recover the funds that Rivers State spent on our federal roads. I thank you because you have made us recover and rebuild clear our oil wells that we mostly came to. I thank you because we can recover soon. And I thank you because more than any other officer in this country, whether in government or out, you have been the voice of fiscal liberalism. You have set the pace that subnationals can take, and they can be viable because no one else has seen the capacity to assure in leadership. I thank you. Your Excellency, over these past years, I've also had cause to bear some gains. And today, I want to most painfully acknowledge the loss of their roots. Emmanuel Jim Akuma sat with us here in 2015. And L.B. Mosu was part of our struggle. And B.M. Bifa. I pray that their souls will rest in peace, and the good Lord will continue to comfort their families. They have been here with you in 2015, and accolade was that we do nothing because they are not us. Today, you are the best infrastructure government in the country. You are the best performing government in all other sectors, whatever scale or segment. Our executive council sections have been extraordinary. From their seminars, we all participate in without fees or charges. You give us life lessons. You espouse work ethics, governance, and all through you have, even in spite of many failings and shortcomings, for giving anticipatory even before we meet you. So I thank you, Your Excellency, for this extraordinary opportunity. I simply pray that even as you continue on life's journeys, Lord, guide you, protect you, save your families, and then continue to reward your extraordinary gifts to the people of our state. Thank you.
National Health.
Your Excellency, Chairman of Council, Your Excellencies, members of the Executive Council. Excellency, I will not bore us by repeating most of the things my colleagues have said here this afternoon, because they are true. But mine is a bit different. Your Excellency, I'm a trained medical doctor. What I know is medicine and practice of medicine. From the age of 16, 17, 18, until you found me in 2012. When you called the meeting in your family house, your village house at Wike, and in that meeting, there was only a call, and he said to the party chairman there, if you look around, there are people who are in this meeting who have asked you to invite you, not invite them, because they are here with us now. I'm one of those people. You personally brought me into politics. I don't know anything about politics. And you have taught me the rudiments of politics, loyalty, and how to follow politics. Yes, Excellency, you not only taught me and brought me into politics, you also started from that time pushing me into world politics and real politics raw in Rivers State and outside. You recommended me for University of Ibadan teaching basketball briefly, and then Amadi University teaching basketball. And I learned a lot of world politics from there. The way you brought me this way, when you came in as the governor of Rivers, you made me the chairman of Primary Healthcare Management Board for 2017 or 2015, 2017. We did a lot of the River projects here. Primary healthcare under one. Today we have one primary healthcare building where they have everything about primary healthcare. And expansion plan. You did it. And then after that, you now brought me as a member of the Executive Council. Your Excellency, the medical world cannot thank you enough for what you have done in the medical. I thank God my senior colleague, one of the medical doctors, the deputy governor, is one of us. In the medical world, you are celebrated. You have changed the narrative of what we used to think that equipment we saw in textbooks, we can touch them, or if I use the medical language, we can palpate them, we can manipulate them, we can use them. When some of us were in the medical school, the kind of equipment you have brought into Rivers State were just in textbooks. We only heard of them, we never saw them, but now they're everywhere. Yes, as you transform not just the government sector, private sector. Maybe they would have forgotten. You gave birth to 37 private hospitals. Between 10, 15, 20 million, some close. You have to pay over several months. Some paid, some did not. But you try to encourage them to buy equipment for their hospitals. Excellency, you also not only stop there. The primary health care center, you try to rehabilitate many of them. 12 general hospitals you rehabilitated. You showed me a footballer. In health sector, we have primary, secondary, and tertiary. But the secondary was abandoned. You showed me a midfielder. And you encouraged the secondary care and rehabilitated the 12 primary, secondary hospitals. And of course, even the neuropsychiatric hospital. You not only stopped there. You also looked beyond politics. I remember the River Mother and Child Hospital and the zonal hospital, Bori and Deliman, Aboda and Omopo and Okene. You said in one of those comments, these people are not politicians, but they are rivers people in this country. You called them for a meeting and you said, can you finish this job? Even when they did all kinds of things, but you gave them that opportunity. You showed human kindness and you did that. That is in the zonal hospital. Some of them are complete, waiting to function. You also went further. Not just some of them will not mention it. Nobody will mention the civil service building that you rehabilitated. Nobody will remember that you gave loans, like I said earlier. Nobody will also remember that the River State had no medical school. For over 50 years, you established a medical school. It was in this time you established it. We now have a medical school. Our own temple of Esculapius, we established it for River. You went further and opened the teaching hospital. The River Former University Greater Memorial Hospital. Your Excellency, you rehabilitated it and sank in so much money. Not only did you rehabilitate, you furnished it exquisitely with the most modern equipment, modern and child hospital. You went further, Your Excellency, and also went to Dr. Peter Odile Cancer and Cardiovascular Diagnosis and Treatment Center. Your Excellency, the equipment in this hospital cannot be found anywhere in West Africa. General Electric brought in the latest equipment there. The government has to make it there. Your Excellency, not only that, as I speak to you, the person has said, but it's ready for commission, but not for want of time. You have not been able to commission it. The dental and facial and ophthalmology have also been fully rehabilitated, also getting ready for commission. Your Excellency, we're not only talking about the medical students. You saw the need to train those who want this place. We have been talking to them that one, any Nigerian who is still running out now for medical tourism or whatever, should come to River State and test their hand the equipment we have. We have them there. And then you went further. You have approved the health insurance scheme. Yes, the board has not been conducted, but you approved the health insurance scheme. The delay was not due to the government, but civil servants at the stage said they were not able to make sure that that population was done. Your Excellency, the medical work cannot thank you. I, as a person, have learned so much. What I have seen, it didn't take from COVID came. You were the incident commander. People had it. 5 commissioners of health lost their lives. People died here and there. But you took the mantle by, you took the bull by the horn. I was only the incident manager. You were the commander. And you did everything. Lockdown, everything. Even as I speak to you, River State has tested 489,000 over that samples. Free, you did. You provided the money for sampling. Equipment were brought in. Machines to test COVID were brought in. And you did it. We tested, we got positive over 17,000 persons. You treated free. The treatment centers were open. The federal government did not assist you. Excellency. At the stage, the commissioners of health, when we had a meeting, said, you are on your own. We were confused. We didn't know what to do. But I came back to your Excellency. And you gave us every support. You did 97% of the job we did in COVID. We in the medical sector did the remaining 3%. And I remember when we saw the fear, I prayed God and said, God, please you make me the chief health officer of this state. Push away this sickness from my state. Spare my people. And God heard that prayer. Yes, Excellency, I can't say all here. There are so many information that will not have the
20 seconds.
But on my own self and my family, the Anthony Chike family, there is one community that is almost extinct. The Rumeli community will say, thank you for giving me the opportunity to say thank you very much.
Commissioner Housing.
Your Excellency, members of the Executive Council, members of the press. Your Excellency, I feel very privileged to have had the opportunity of serving as the Cabinet Commissioner first in the Ministry of Presidency and Community Affairs, and later in the Ministry It is the greatest honor of my life, and it is indelible in mind. My mind has long aside me from work. The workaholic governor who has changed the trajectory of governance in Rivers State and Nigeria at large through uncommon courage encapsulated in the new Rivers agenda. New. Your Excellency, you have redefined leadership through pragmatic, actionable, mind-blowing infrastructural development, transforming the landscape of Port Harcourt and this environment to what I call the Rivers aesthetics. Your Excellency, when the state needed leadership, God brought you, and you provided mind leadership, created a state of control, excitement, peace, insight, and inspiration, and above all, you have restored the dignity and right of every Rivers son and daughter through your projects and outspokenness. Today, every Nigerian wants to identify with you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, you are a man that opens to define by your actions, not words, because it is easy to talk about the right thing, but it takes real courage and integrity to follow through on those words and make them reality. In the end, it's not what we say, but what we do that defines us. You are a man of character that has remained undoubted in serving the people of Rivers State that we swore to protect. You have stood firm and stayed true to your vision, even in the face of attack, challenging situations, intimidation, and betrayal. You have fought injustice, ethnic domination in Nigeria. You are a true nationalist and patriotic Nigerian. Posterity will refer to you when those entrusted with leadership responsibilities in Rivers State and Nigeria at large go to their sex. Your Excellency, the number of roads infrastructure constructed by you is no mean feat, with over of road and still counting. Very remarkable to the good people is the dualization of the Sectoral road, with superlative finishing are done with street light. The road has massively improved economic relationship between the Goins, the Andonis, and the Okobun government areas. The local farmers and fishermen in these areas will forever remain grateful to the Excellency. In addition to the numerous projects, it is indisputable fact that your generosity and humanitarian acts, both within and across the country, are legendary. Your Excellency, it is worth noting that you achieved all this despite the mean force of the state on assumption of office, to the extent that your predecessor quick that your administration will not be able to pay salary. You have indeed put him and other detractors to shame. For me, joining the state expo on July 9, 2022 has been a very short time of great learning. I have had the privilege of meeting great minds as colleagues who display care, friendship, and camaraderie. I will forever be grateful to them, particularly to Your Excellency for the privilege given me to serve our dear state. Thank you, Your Excellency, and I pray God to continue to protect your household and lift you high. Thank you.
Yes, okay. Information.
Your Excellency and members of council, pleasure that I speak today at this historic Valedictory Council meeting. Firstly, the experience working here has been humbling as it provided me the opportunity to work for and in proximity with excellence. This has become an eye-opening episode as much as it has been worth the while. What have I learned? I have more than learned that His Excellency is a meticulous, diligent, and thorough individual. All one needs to see this is by working together for just one day. I have also learned that it is possible to have a political leader who will be intentional in selecting his family from the work he does or the politics he plays. It's an amazing learning point for me. a book from its cover. Indeed, don't judge a man from a distance. I consider working with His Excellency a veritable opportunity to learn that what appears to be an admonition could actually be a joke. But most of all, I have learned that His Excellency is full of jokes. All that is required of you is not to be hurriedly or get hurriedly, and if you do so, you are on your own. More seriously, I now know that His Excellency is an extremely intelligent man who insists on nothing but the best. Your Excellency, you keep things simple, though you refuse to suffer fools gladly. You are calculative, very calculative, particularly when it comes to politics. Little wonder you get to a destination long before your opponents and enemies arrive there. For every matter, you ensure that there is a plan B, reminding one about the proverbial rabbit with one hook that dies there. I might not have come with some of these survivalist attributes, but for sure I will go away with them as the journey of life continues in other directions. I say thank you, Your Excellency, Imiema, Mekas, and to the many wonderful individuals I met and worked with here. I humbly say, may the good Lord bless you all exceedingly. May we continue to cross paths in Jesus' mighty name. Amen. Thank you all.
Yes, Commissioner, local government.
Your Excellency, Governor of Rivers State, Your Excellency, Mr. President, and colleagues. Your Excellency, I will try as much as I can not to be emotional, because my relationship with you is beyond politics, beyond governance, more of a brotherly relationship. My autobiography will not be complete without you playing a great role. Since 2007, you have played so much role in my life. But that's why I've tried to put my thoughts on a little piece so that I'll stick to it. The never will not break down. Today is a remarkable day in the annals of our state, as it marks the end of an executive council headed by Chief Minister of Wike, CON, GSSRS Live Venture. It is with great honor that I address this August occasion, marking the end of New Rivers Vision and the countdown to the consolidation of the New Rivers Vision come 29th May 2023. I am highly elated today, having worked closely with the governor, my principal, friend and brother for 8 years. Together with other members of the Executive Council, we will be bowing out gloriously with our heads high, because the performance index of this administration is unprecedented in the history of our state, particularly and the country at large. Where do I start from? Do I want to talk about the infrastructural development, the human capital development? Is it the welfare of workers or your political sagacity? This is just to mention a few. I want to personally thank Your Excellency on behalf of my family and the good people of the local government area for graciously finding me worthy to serve the state in the last 8 years. First, as Commissioner of Sports 3 times, and currently as Commissioner for Local Government Affairs in the state. My experience in the Ministry of Local Government Affairs is overwhelming. Having the opportunity to interact with the 23 local government chairmen, and on this note, I want to stand boldly to commend His Excellency for showing good leadership to fantastic programs. Why do I say so? Your Excellency, I've stayed in the local government ministry affairs for more than 6 months or up to a year. You've never asked what is the figure that comes from Jack. We're not interested. Most times, we do the Jack meeting without informing you, and we make sure that we disburse the money to the local government. You never know how much goes to any local government. That's a great example that other governments should benefit. As the curtain doors were closed, it gives me the opportunity to reflect on the experiences of life and strive harder to always serve God first and humanity in whatever position I may find myself in the nearest future. Our dear Governor, Chief Barrister Yeso is on Wike. We will miss your strong demeanor in the Executive Council. Rivers State will miss you, but most importantly, your kind heart, your great human feelings, your compassionate and love for everyone that comes across you. I want to, on this note, wish all of us here a brighter future. Thank you.
Power. There are no street lights.
Thank you, Excellency, and my colleagues here. Excellency, as a good Christian, the Bible says everything that has a beginning surely must come to an end. And so today is the end of a glorious tenure. Excellency, I think you did me a honor that I do not deserve. Why do I say this? In my local government, if you know the politics of my local government very well, the bigger communities would never let anyone from the smaller community rear his head. Not to talk of the state appointment. You broke that gate and appointed me a commissioner. And not just a commissioner, Your Excellency. You allowed me to serve with you from the beginning to the end. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. It is an honor I think I do not deserve. More so, coming from the same LGA, which is on the governor, my dear one. Thank you very much, Your Excellency.
She's from a big community, so she doesn't want you to come up. Well, it's not from a big community, it's from a small community too.
So, Excellency, thank you very well. Working with you at the beginning was like baptism of fire, honestly. Every Tuesday, our VPs, I declined myself, my people will go to 170. I'm saying the truth. But surprisingly, I didn't know that fire isn't for destruction alone. Fire is a purifier. It purified me. Today my politics is purified. And I would say that the end part of my tenure is like the baptism of the Holy Spirit. Thank you, Excellency. Now, if I want to reel out everything you've done for me, from the Minister of Social Welfare to the Minister of Energy and to the Minister of Power, where I am quitting today, maybe we will not go. But that's what you want to do, yes. The high point of this is when you go deep to find out that property belonging to the River State government, and that's the bank, was abandoned in the Netherlands by the previous administration. After River State government had paid all monies. And you said, no, you won't take this. And you put your foot down, and we were able to retrieve it. To the glory of God, it is no longer a waste on the River State government. Excellency, you are an enigma. One thinks this is what will please you. No. Left is what will please you. And to strike the balance, to stand firm, knowing what will please you, is not very easy. And so you became a book to study. And if all that we studied here is enough to award us certificates, I'm sure every one of us here will be awarded a PhD. Yes, because you are difficult to please, sir.
Because you hope for the very best. Not giving you the best, no matter who. The one that ate with you last night, no. You come after him to say, no, you must give me the best. Yeah, and I know that whenever my phone rings in the midnight.
1 minute.
Whenever my phone rings in the midnight, it is that just one bowl is not on. So I thank you very much for taking this time to know that when you're in government, you don't sleep. You must be up and doing 24 hours. I glorify God that I've served with you, and I give you the assurance, sir, that each time you walk out in your political endeavors, stand back to say, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Your Excellency, Governor of Rivers State, Your Excellency here present, my distinguished colleagues, good evening. Indeed, it's a rare privilege to be a part of this event. I know you say, why am I using the word rare? I use that word because once upon a time, there was a gentleman that sat over there, and his name, like you all know, was Emmanuel Chihuahua, was upon his demise. Out of compassion and benevolence, brought me to the Executive Council. Your Excellency, I'm grateful. It's been 4 to 5 years of work in the Rivers State Ministry of Social Welfare. Indeed, you have changed the narrative of that ministry and shown uncommon passion for the downtrodden, the voiceless, the helpless, and persons that live with all kinds of mental challenges, including drug abuse. Your Excellency, by restructuring and remodeling the rehabilitation center, you have provided the most comfortable refuge for persons living with mental challenges or drug abuse substance in Nigeria. There's no rehab center like that. I have searched, I have visited, and there's none like that. You've provided an establishment where people can actually stay and their values are reorientated, they acquire skills, and they are easily admitted back into the society. Your Excellency, by your compassion again, the safe home was built. There is no complex like that in Nigeria. Indeed, it is a complex that comprises of various kinds of care for victims of sexual abuse or children in need of protective rights. The beautiful thing about the safe home, Your Excellency, is that it has provided institutional support for the child rights law and the violence against persons prohibition law. Without the safe home, those laws would not have had accommodation to keep victims. In the safe home is a family court in 2 tiers, High Court and Magistrate Court. Your Excellency, they are functional now, and cases are being heard in those courts within the safe home. That is unprecedented. And I thank you so much because, indeed, as a member of the International Federation of Women Lawyers, that has been our dream. We've pushed for it, but in your tenure, it has come to pass. We're very grateful. Your Excellency, in this time as well, the matters of feeding and provision of necessaries for persons in our institutions has not been an issue because we receive monthly subvention to look after these persons. Prior to this time, persons had to donate or they had to go to people to give food and all of that, but it's been done by your benevolence. Your Excellency, you have also intervened severally by providing food for persons in these institutions, which also extends to other orphanages that are registered with the Rivers State Ministry of Social Welfare. It has been a reoccurrence in so many times during the year. Most times when I see a call from Ambassador Akawo, I'm always very happy because I know that food has come for my residents through His Excellency. Thank you very much, sir.
The foreign mission sell food to you? When you say coming from an ambassador?
No, I said when I get a call from him.
From
of course, His Excellency has directed.
As an ambassador, you represent the foreign missions? Okay, state chairman of the party. That's what I want to hear.
Your Excellency.
Our zonal offices, about 13 of them around the state, are also functional at this time because of the subvention you give to us monthly for the running of the social welfare ministry. We ensure that we send something to them every month so that they can also attend to people in the local areas and refer them to us when need be. I can tell you that by the impetus you've given to the Rivers State Ministry of Social Welfare, we are able to network with other organizations, UNICEF, the United Nations, and other professional bodies. We work closely with them.
1 minute.
Yes, Your Excellency. And we ensure that we give the best services to the people of Rivers State. But all of this could not have been possible if your vision was not carried out. Your Excellency, let me, on behalf of the people of Orobum, say thank you. Thank you in the sense that, I don't know, so many assignments, so many things, and they are indeed, I know, very proud of me as their daughter, even though I'm not originally from Orobum village. But they've accepted me.
You have benefited from us, what you mean by that?
Yes, sir. Okay, sir.
From Port Harcourt local government?
From Port Harcourt local government. I said Orobum village. Well, from Port Harcourt local government.
I prefer Port Harcourt.
Yes, sir. From Port Harcourt, sir. Thank you very much for all the opportunities you've given me. Thank you for making me understand that, look, you must be detailed. You must pay attention to every item on any document. Thank you for letting me know that you must be also very careful at the way you do things. Your Excellency, working with you has been a wonderful, wonderful experience. And my prayer for you is that you excel in whatever level you find yourself. And that indeed, this good work you've done in Rivers State, in all spheres of governance, should be replicated someday in the whole of Nigeria. God bless you, sir. God bless you. Thank you very much.
Your special projects. Your microphone's not working.
Your Excellency, Chairman, and other members of Council, let me thank the Almighty God first, Your Excellency, for the opportunity to serve as Commissioner for Special Projects. I never saw it coming. Being a special advisor since 26th of December 2015 until 9th of July 2022, when I was sworn in as Commissioner for Special Projects. Your Excellency, the Ministry of Special Projects had never had it this good. From 2015 to 2023, Bureau Stroke Ministry, we had awarded and executed a total of 96 projects that have direct bearing to the life of the Rivers people. Out of these 96, completed and commissioned about 80 projects. This achievement, Your Excellency, was because of proper release of funds by Your Excellency. I hope the federal agencies and other states will adopt this method of budgeting and fund release. A project that is to be executed for 1 year, the budget is for 1 year, not for 2 years, because If it is for 2 years, the project would be abandoned along the way. Because of this pragmatic project budgeting, that is why, Your Excellency, we don't have abandoned projects littering the state. On a personal note, Your Excellency, I have learned a lot from you. Learned a lot. Like Commissioner for Power said, certain times, once I see Moses call, my BP will also rise. If my wife is around me, she will look at me and say, my husband, it's Moses. I say, sweetheart, it's Moses. His Excellency is on the line. But those things made me tick. One thing, I have 4 things I learned. One, I learned to do more of listening than talking. 2, being on top of activities or situations in my ministry, because, Your Excellency, you will not tell us when you are going to inspect a project. You go for on-schedule project inspection. And when you are there, you will call us. And if I'm not on top of activities or the projects in my ministry, what will I tell you? So, we try as much as possible to always be one step ahead of, if it's possible.
Where have you been ahead of me?
Then, godly, sir, I learned to be diligently and patiently read through memos to be sent to you, Your Excellency. There was a particular memo which the cost of the project is supposed to be worth something. I don't know what happened to me that day. When I signed that memo with 9 point something, you only just minuted to me, cross-check the contract value. And when I looked at it, I was actually ashamed of myself that I signed that particular memo. But it also made me to know that you take time to read the memos we send to you. So that is being diligent and patient. From that, before I sign any memo that is coming to you. Your Excellency, the people of Okrika now. The people of Okrika have asked me.
What about those who are in the other side?
Those are where we are, sir.
No, the suburbs. So you're not speaking on behalf of them? On the Okrika town?
Okrika is a whole, sir.
No, you can't speak on Okrika. No, you can say Okrika local government.
Okay, yes, sir. The Okrika local government. Your Excellency, thank you for all the projects executed and commissioned in Okrika local government. The Okrika people have never had it this good from any administration in the past. They are extremely grateful. Especially, sir, we just hope that the Wuji, Alisa, Alito refinery road will come to pass. Because with that, it takes less. God bless you, Your Excellency.
Yeah.
And God bless your family.
Yes, boss. Thank you, boss.
Your Excellency, the Governor of Rivers State, Your Excellencies, my wonderful colleagues. Your Excellency, this is quite emotional. But I'll begin with gratitude. I want to thank you for this wonderful opportunity you have given to me to give my all to Rivers State. I was not nominated by anybody. Nobody took you to me. It has always been my heart desire to work with you because I felt I have the same DNA with you. But again, Your Excellency, it started first as the second badge of awardees of the Governor's Medal of Service, which I think is the most prestigious award I've gotten in my life, in spite of the numerous ones I've gotten whilst in the Nigerian Football Federation. Haven't won the Nations Cup, haven't won the World Cup under 17 back to back, and haven't brought up players. Because I want to follow the poet Walter Scott when he said, "Breathes there a man whose soul so dead, who never to himself and said, 'This is my native land. This is Rivers State.'" And so it started from there, and you now found me worthy to groom the next generation of professionals in football and in academics in Nigeria, and that's the Real Madrid Football Academy. Well, little did anybody know that Your Excellency is so vast. I in particular knew that you are vast, but I didn't know you are this vast in football. Because when I started in Sharks, you were the local government chairman. We had an opportunity to have a meeting. Your knowledge of football, especially Real Madrid Football Club of Spain, is impeccable and is wonderful. And so you built an edifice that can be comparable to any found in Europe. And today I can tell you that 3 years down the line, that edifice is still standing the way it was constructed 3 years ago, with all facilities working in the optimum, including even the 4 vehicles that have not even moved an inch. As if that was not enough, you called me and said you want me to handle the Rivers United Football Club. And I saw it as a great challenge. And with you, like everybody has said, a man of excellence, a man that is not only diligent, but has dexterity. I knew that this is a call that I cannot make the least mistake. And so, by the grace of God, with the total support I had from you, I couldn't have it from anybody. We won the league with 4 matches to spare. And as if that was not enough, you gave a reward that nobody in Rivers State had ever given to any set of players. The reward is a reward that will lead these players, even when they have retired, to fending for themselves. And so, Your Excellency, that was not enough. As I speak to you now, the Rivers United Football Club is in run for yet another trophy, which will begin from next week, as they have qualified for the championship playoff. Rivers United, Your Excellency, is the only club in Nigeria. We have 19 clubs, premiership clubs that are being run by various state governments and 1 private club. But I can tell you what, the least club is owed a minimum of an arrears of 5 months' salaries. Rivers United, as I speak, will be paid their next salary for this month tomorrow. It has never happened in the history of Nigeria. And so you have created a model, not only for Rivers State, for Nigeria. Because even in our campaign in the continent, you made Nigeria got back the 4 slots of clubs to represent this country. Because at the time we got there, we had the verge of getting only 2 slots because of the points accumulated was not enough. But by Rivers United getting to the quarterfinal stage, you restored the 4 slots for clubs, inter-clubs competitions in Nigeria for Nigerians. Now, talking about the goddess, that's Rivers Angels. As I speak, Rivers Angels by tomorrow will be playing the semi-finals of the Women's Challenge Cup. And I tell you what, the way they are going, they will likely bring that same cup to. These are the many things you have been doing for sports in Rivers State. It's not been precedented, it's unprecedented. It has never happened before. Your Excellency, for the Ministry of Sports, I can tell you what, that sportsmen and women have now known the true definition of sports. That is, smart people often reach the summit. For you to be a sportsman, you must often get to the summit. And so, for everything they did, they knew that the summit was a crown. And as we speak, they are the verge of winning most of the crowns we have. That means getting to the summit. Your Excellency, I cannot thank you enough.
1 minute.
You have made me a better person. You have improved me both materially and otherwise. You have made me strong. But I've also realized that working very close to Your Excellency, that behind that lion is a dove. You are so compassionate. And so, Your Excellency, on behalf of my recuperating wife, my 3 children, and the
particular statement I want to make, but I still plead that you allow me make it again. I am not from River State. I'm from Uguta local government area of Imo State. But yes, I was born and brought up here in River State. And I'm an Igbo man. And I've served under you as a commissioner for 8 years. And in a very sensitive ministry, Special Duties Governor's Office. I worked directly under you and closely with you. I want to thank you on behalf of my wife and my children for what you have done for me. You know, Your Excellency, many people do not know how I survived politically. But maybe I will say 1 or 2 things today about it so they will know. I survived because I'm only answerable to you and I'm loyal to you. I survived because at any time I come to see you and you talk to me, I learn immediately. The last word you told me some time ago was like, in coming house here, say, my friend, you talk too much. Yes, sir. So throughout while I was with you in that place, I never spoke again. So I decided to listen. You see, Your Excellency, many people will not understand. So I want to say what you did for the non-indigenous in the state so they will know. Because many people did not follow when we started. When we started the caretaker committee in River State, non-indigenous from Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Akwa Ibom, Edo Delta, and Cross River served in the 23 local government areas. You nominated them, you said I should put their names. Yes, that is the man that they said was going to chase away the non-indigenous in 2015, if you can remember. Your Excellency, you signed C of O's. And everybody believes it's just about Rivers people, but they don't know. I want to let people know today. All the Igbo men who are doing businesses in Ikoku and here and there have C of O's today. And when they break down in their business, they take that C of O to the bank to get loan. Because without C of O, no bank will trust you. Of course, you know that. And then they get loans. And their business begins to grow again. That is the man that they said will chase away the non-indigenous in the state. Your Excellency, you recall in 2016 when you gave the Justice of Peace under Chiwonwo Aguma, late, you gave local government slots. But when it came to the non-indigenous, you said we should nominate 200 persons. 200 non-indigenous got the Justice of Peace. Your Excellency, you did not stop there. I went through the record of all past administration and I found out that you sent the highest number of non-indigenous to Jerusalem for pilgrimage, 400 and something persons, non-indigenous. You sent about 200 to the Holy Land where they went for the Mecca. Your Excellency, I became loyal to you before you became a governor. I will remain loyal to you after you have left as a governor. Your Excellency, I am one man that I no longer fear anything again because I learnt boldness from you. I thank you for the role you played for a Southern president. I stood with you and I'm still standing with you till tomorrow. We are not second-class citizens in this country. But not for you. Most of us wouldn't have had the guts. But you gave us the guts and said, look, we are not second-class citizens.
We're not fighting our northern brothers, yes? But if you have done 8 years, give us another 8 years. Your Excellency, most of all is the issue of the Golden Jubilee, which many has forgotten. You nominated me as a member of that committee, and I went there, I met personalities, I learned a lot. When they bring out the brochure of River State at 50, my pictures appears as a commissioner. Your Excellency, you have given me so much, I don't know, will I say, passage. As I go to the embassy for any visa, I'm a commissioner, they will give me visa immediately. God will bless you. But let me say this also, Your Excellency, before I go down. As we leave this ESCO chamber today, please, sir, where I have not met up to your standard, I am sorry. Because nobody can meet your standard. All these things we are saying here. Not one of us. Is it your timing? Nobody can slow you down. Nobody can bring a memo that you know very well. You know, sometimes when you call, like he said, not to let him have BP. Who wants to? Is he Moses call you? Or he will be scared. Excellency, I want to thank all these ESCO members because I believe I should be the youngest. The way they worked with me, is it the SSG, the chief of staff, the head of staff, in fact, all of them who have problems. In fact, the last problem we had was the committee we had. Mr. Akuma had to call me and say, look, you are a son, look. And when I went home, I called and said, man, I'm sorry you have learned. Thank you for all you have done for the non-indigenous. Thank you for all you have done for River State. I want to let you know that I will never fail you or disappoint you, Excellency. Like I said, and I want to end. I became loyal to you before you became governor. As you step out of this government house on May 29, I will forever remain loyal to you. I thank the Cabinet Secretariat who have done so much for us, so much. They work up at night, day and night to give us these memos right and make corrections here and there. The woman who serves us tea, God will bless everybody. And to your Excellency, sir, I'm up. God bless you, and God bless River State.
Yes. Okay, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Your Excellency, distinguished members and council members are present. I want to...
You wore suit today? I don't see you wear suit.
No, I do, sir. Yes, sir.
Which are the suits? Is it from Oyibo Market?
Yes, sir. Sometimes we'll get good ones from there as well. Thank you, sir. Please, it is a privilege working with Your Excellency. This is the second time I was formally sworn in by you. I served first in the Post-Primary Schools Board headed by Chief David Briggs. We didn't outlive our tenure there. We were sacked. Another opportunity came when I was called upon to serve as a commissioner on a privilege that came strongly from my daddy, His Excellency Ambassador Desmond Akao.
Yeah, who daddy?
My daddy.
What's called daddy?
Daddy is a senior brother in Ndoki.
Speak English, yeah.
Okay, my elder uncle. Thank you, sir. I was brought in here in November, and I was posted to serve in the Ministry of the Special Duties. Special Duties is a multiple ministry that has that of the projects and that of the Office of the Governor, Special Duties. But a specific role was given to my own special duties, and that was always fire service. But because it is fire, nobody wants to make himself available to fire. But from what I met there, I saw all the efforts you put down for us to be active and proactive when the needs arises. I came in and I met a team that was handling the flood. Before we came, they finished it. There was no induction on how to
navigate that ministry. But to the glory of God today, if you drive through the Azigoro Park, you will see that that office, we were able to bring life to it. Because the Ministry of Special Duties and then Fire Service is one of the ministries that must be active 24 hours. And we did everything possible to activate it within all that was provided for us. But above all, when we had the last fire tanker, that we didn't have so much things to tackle it, God opened up and rain came. And everything about that fire, God just helped us and fought that fire. By the grace of God, under me and then within the time under review, we had two challenges. One was a collapsed building that by the grace of God, we didn't have so much casualties in Alo. And then another one was the relationship that all the corporate companies has with the states. At every point in time we call them, they synergize with us. And that is the respect they have for you. It is not built by me. It is a relationship that they endure with you, and we relied on it. Your Excellency, so many speeches have been made here, and we won't repeat ourselves. I want to pride myself with one singular act you did between the past 2 months. That is reconnecting River State back to the central government of this country. We had it, some of us who had the privilege of serving under the first board of Greater Port Harcourt under Jonathan, we had
members of council, Your Excellency, my wife, my children, my entire family, and I humbly and greatly appreciate your support to us, particularly for giving me the opportunity to serve River State as commissioner. In my political journey, under your leadership, we owe you so much because you always show us love and care. In this administration, sir, I have been a local government chairman, now a commissioner. Your Excellency, on behalf of the good people and leadership of the local government council area, I say thank you. I am also privileged and proud to stand before you at this special occasion to deliver this speech of my service in the Ministry of Transport, where I serve as commissioner. You have been a wonderful mentor. I have learned so much from you, sir. Your Excellency, your visionary leadership, you have changed the narratives of governance in River State. Your infrastructural evolution in the state is second to none. And you have also restored the dignity of Rivers men and women in the Committee of State. No wonder the Ugandan people call you Menekwalenu, the king that do good things. Today, it is not my intention to list all that we have accomplished in the Ministry of Transport, where I serve as commissioner. But permit me to state few of our landmark achievements in the ministry. 1. Renovation and expansion of ATC Okrika Jetty. Construction and rehabilitation of Boni Nembe Bile Jetty, and the construction of concrete landing jetty and shore protection at Isaka and Wheat and Bush. Your Excellency, it is also wonderful, a memorable experience working under you as commissioner. I will be willing to serve as many times as possible under you any day, anytime the opportunity comes. I will continue to be loyal to your cause of liberating Rivers State from the hands of those that betrayed the state. God Almighty will continue to protect and guide you as we continue to lead and direct our great state to greater heights and better political placement. It is really hard to say goodbye, but the time has come for me to say so. I would like to take this opportunity to thank everyone for this great opportunity I receive in this administration, and to take this opportunity also to let you know that I have truly enjoyed the friendly and encouraging atmosphere in which I have worked with you. Thank you, sir, for all you have done. Your Excellency, word alone cannot express my gratitude. Your Excellency, your sacrifice of love and friendship will yield untold blessings for you and your family. May God Almighty bless you richly in Jesus' name.
Your Excellency and distinguished Your Excellency and distinguished members of Council, what a great day in my life. Opportunity given of God through His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Rivers State, to serve as the acting chairman of the Rivers State Internal Revenue Service. Your Excellency, I've known you for well over 40 years in life. Your Excellency, you have shown me that a true friend can be greater than a brother. Your Excellency, in the past 2 years that I've served as an ESCO member, I've garnered so much experience arising from the quality of deliberations, the quality of presentations, and the quality of resolutions of issues that have to do with the state. These experiences, I believe, will add value to my life even after here. Your Excellency, I recall that in pre-2015, quite a lot we have said, your incompetency, your this and that. You're a product of what the scripture says, that when the Lord turned the captivity of Zion, we are like them that dream. The heathen saw what the Lord did and said, their God has done this great thing. Those who worked their mouth in pre-2015 and even 2015 today are saying that what a great governor. Your Excellency, you have done well by the special grace of God. Your Excellency, your support to the Internal Revenue Service cannot be overemphasized. Today, Rivers State ranks as one of the states that the internal generated revenue can sustain their recurrent expenditure. That came through your doggedness, that came through your support to ensure that the revenue of the state keeps increasing. Like some of my colleagues have said, whenever Moses calls, I know that I must give figure. And every Friday is a day to always remember, because I must give figure and I give good figures. Your Excellency.
How do you give good figure?
Your Excellency, even in the face of the dwindling economy, our revenue month by month keeps giving an increasing trend. You have been so wonderful, you have been so supportive, you have made the work of the Board of Revenue easy. For the fact that you have utilized the resources of the state to provide infrastructure like never before, that when we go out to meet taxpayers, they will tell us, yes, we can see value for our taxes, and so we keep paying the taxes because the governor is doing well. Your Excellency, words cannot express whom you are. I will simply sum it up to say you are an all-encompassing entity. Like the Honorable General said, you deserve to be studied to know the qualities that makes you whom you are. Your Excellency, on behalf of my wonderful wife and my handsome boss God gave to us after 19 years of waiting, we owe it entirely grateful to you for being an instrument God has used to lift us up. Your Excellency, my family, the Aholos family, the group of Elekaya, Your Excellency, my late elder brother's family are grateful to you that indeed you are a true friend to their son and to their brother. Your Excellency, I have a prayer for you.
30 seconds.
And the prayer is that.
Are you a pastor now?
Yes, sir.
You're a pastor?
Yes, sir.
So the churches.
Winners Chapel.
Okay.
The path of the righteous is like a shining light that shineth more and more to the perfect day. May your light continue to shine to the perfect day in Jesus' name. Amen. God bless you, Your Excellency.
Your Excellency and members of Council, let me first thank the Almighty God to avail me the opportunity to serve as a commissioner in River State's Executive Council. Your Excellency, I was first appointed in 2019 as a Commissioner for Works. I remember very well that what I was expecting was not what I saw, because the number of projects I met there was so much that I was thinking how to cope. I never knew I haven't seen the worst of it, that your supervision was even worse than the project I saw. Your Excellency, what I learned from your supervision, your close supervision of projects in that ministry, is something I will not exchange for anything. You kept me on my toes because at every particular time you were calling and asking me situation reports of some very vital projects. And because of that, I told myself, not just when I saw Moses call, I told myself I will prepare myself, and each time I see Moses call, I'll be happy so that I'll tell you things that you will not attack me on. Your Excellency, the experience from that close supervision brought the best in me. I prepared myself all the time, waiting for your call because I know you can come anytime. And it did come most times. And I tell you, the experience I got from working as or serving as a commissioner for works under you prepared me for no kind of challenge or no kind of endeavors that I will see in my life again and I will be afraid of. Because the level of preparedness that you created in me is something I will never forget. So, Your Excellency, I want to thank you without reservation that you have brought the best out of me. When the 3 flyovers were coming up, namely Rebisi, Okoronodo, and Rumoba, it was very important that Rivers people were told that those projects were projects that were going to help them for all their lifetime. But they didn't understand. Because it was something very new in the state. They misunderstood a lot. And they were complaining bitterly how we have blocked all the roads in Port Harcourt and they cannot move freely. But today, they are so happy that they can drive the streets of Port Harcourt on a barrow in less than 10 minutes from Eleme Junction to Government House. Your Excellency, I am so proud that I served under you as a Commissioner for Works. And the things learned administratively, and even new methods of construction that I got from reputable contractors like Julius Bedia and Sectoral and Lulu Brick Construction. He also gave me an insight properly of some very critical kind of construction that I never saw before. I'm indebted to you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, some other major roads were dualized and also constructed while I was serving there. And when I see the importance and the necessity and the vision that you had that most people did not see when you started engaging in such humongous kind of project. And today now, they look at them and they say, thank God we had you as a governor. Like they said, the end justified the means. You're ending in a very high level. It is good that 90% or 95% of the projects have come to fruition and Rivers people can now see it clearly. That you never meant anything bad for them but the best. Like some other speakers said, they will study you later in their lives. Your Excellency, I was deployed to the Ministry of Urban in 2020 October. That was another challenge again that I saw. The ministry then, on the day I resumed, it was the day that we launched our website. We changed the ways of doing business from manual to automation. Your Excellency, the experience over there in the Ministry of Urban is also not very small. But we have faced it and we have done the best that we can. And we have made the ministry a better place, better than how we met it. And able to improve the way approvals are done. Approvals are now done faster than it used to be. And Your Excellency, I am happy that the two ministries that I served are connected to your urban renewal program. While the Ministry of Works provides infrastructure, the Ministry of Urban regulates and plans the city. Your Excellency, I know that program is the key and the heartbeat of the administration. Your Excellency, I want to thank you. I know time is of essence. I want to thank you for the opportunity given to serve. I also want to...
Commissioner for Information and the Housing, you cannot have a definitive for whatever the intersection.
Your Excellency, I want to thank you for the opportunity to serve. And I also want to tell you that I've learned something about being or standing for what you believe in through your political school. It doesn't matter how many people are against what you believe in. If you believe in what you believe in, you stand for it. I've learned that from you. In my secondary school, our principal there used to tell us that there is what they call foolish majority and sensible minority. So I think that standing for what you believe, it doesn't matter the people against you, is something that I've learned from you and I will stick. I thank you, Excellency. I bring one greeting from the Chi people, and the Ministry of Physical Planning and Urban Development, and also my immediate family and the Benchoma families. Thank you, sir.
You've been making for your immediate senior.
If also that Benchoma.
Yes, what are you, Professor?
Your Excellency, the State Governor, Your Excellency, distinguished colleagues. What an awesome day to be alive and to witness the goodness of God. Your Excellency, it is natural for me to begin by expressing thanks to God. It is God and God and God. Your Excellency, I would like also to make the point that I find myself here today speaking on valedictory session, a politician or a teacher. Beginning with my name, not many people here would know that my name, Kaniye, simply means teacher. I don't know how it came about, but it translates simply tell us, and that means teacher. I have accepted to be a lifelong teacher. I've taught here, I've taught in Europe. My journey to politics started with you, Your Excellency. When I returned from my sojourn overseas, I had met you in Calabar at the airport. You had come for visit. Then you were Minister of State for Education. You were surprised to find that I was in Nigeria. We were still pleasantries, and I left and asked, what am I doing here? And I said I was the Dean of Law, University of Calabar.
Sorry, just wait. The cameraman, you must not be going out and coming in. This is not a press room where you think you go out and come in at any time you want. If you want to stay here, you stay here. If you don't want to stay, you get out from this place. This will be the last time I see you opening the doors again.
Then I met you again in an informal location, precisely in a Liban community. And you asked me to come to Abuja to see you. I did, and then you asked me to put up a proposal together with the National Mathematical Center. And then we became consultants to the Unity Schools, 101 Unity Schools in Nigeria. It was an awesome experience, and I benefited a great deal from that.
We are talking about the Executive Council now.
Yes.
We are not
Yes,
talking about...
I'm talking how I came to the Executive Council.
Go to the Executive Council.
Right. Now, when I got to... The next thing you did, briefly, was that you appointed me into a committee that has to do some work with UBEC. And it was from that point that I got into the Executive Council. In the Executive Council, I have been posted into two ministries, namely the Ministry of Education and the Ministry of Water Resources, where I'm serving at the moment. It is not profitable for me to recount everything that everyone else has said concerning you, largely positive things. I can only say that I adopt all of them as being true and correct. There is hardly anyone here who has served with you for 8 years or even for a few months who can say he learned nothing from you. Diligence, hard work, forthrightness, and more we all learned. Like some people said here, obviously, if you receive a call from you, if you see a call from Moses, for me, the first thing you do is to pray. And to be sure that at the end of the day, you will be safe. But what you are calling to ask is whether something has been done rightly. And that's exactly what you are concerned with. Have you done your work rightly? What is happening there at the moment? That's the reason you always called. And of course, it kept me on my toes. So I made sure that at every point in time, whatever responsibility I'm given, I need to be on top of it. Your Excellency, as Commissioner for Education, reappointed in 2019, there was a major challenge, and it is important for us to make the point that the country should remember. The COVID-19 that struck the world in December 2019, and then effectively in January 2020, threatened to behead the future of our children. Specifically, there was this issue of whether or not the terminal examinations were going to hold. Let me restrict myself to Wike. Many states in this country insisted that Wike for 2020 was going to be cancelled because it was not safe for the children. But learning from your doggedness that you will do a thing even if the heaven falls. In fact, even if heaven should fall now, everybody should go. I learned from that to insist in all meetings we had, virtual meetings with commissioners of education, that we cannot afford to cancel the 2020 WAEC. With their permission, as I advised, we opened our schools, the first in the country. Nothing happened. There was no incident of COVID attack. And the states were wondering, really, River State schools are ongoing. They too reopened schools. Yet there were still others who were thinking that if the school have been reopened, they will not participate in WAEC. I advised again that let's go on virtual studies, remote learning for the students. Your Excellency, you agreed. That was the first in the country, and other states copied as well. And so it is the case that bet for your leadership in this country, Nigerian students...
Sorry, I hope you know when the Executive Council meeting. You can't be disturbing distractions by opening their biscuits or sweet or whatever. If I get, you see, it will be very bad for you that you are sacked today. It will be a day that you will never forget in your life. That you are sacked before the dissolution of the council. It's a very bad thing. So you better conduct yourself. If you want to distract us, then I will show you the other side. So please, 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 if you want to eat your biscuit, if you want to eat whatever sweet you have, you must do it in such a way that you don't distract us.
Yes, just let's say, I was going to conclude that bit by saying that because of your doggedness, Nigerian students should be thankful that the WAEC of 2020 was not cancelled. Because following your advice and insistence, I stood firm and convinced other education commissioners across the country that that WAEC must hold. And it did hold. And that we must give to your credit. Just let's say on a very personal note.
1 minute.
Let me say that personally, I'm indeed extremely very grateful to you. My friend and colleague, Miller, made a point that I will not seek to elaborate in my own case. But I know that it is first God and second you, I would not have been here today. For this, I'm very grateful to you. My children and my wife are grateful for your assistance at various occasions. And I bring you love from my family, the Beku family of Olapata. I know for sure that you understand the intrigues, but I can say that we have love we are bringing to you today. For my colleagues who are here, it is certain that our had enriched each one of us. I'm grateful to part. I'm grateful also to the Cabinet Secretariat wonderful job. From time to time, they have done wonderfully well. Your Excellency, thank you so very much for being such a father, such a teacher.
How can I be a father now?
Yes, indeed, you are a father.
I'm your father. You taught me in school. How can I be a father?
Yes, I taught you, but I taught you, but you are you are the head.
I don't want to be a father. Thank you very much. Women Affairs.
Your Excellency and my... If I have to stand here and talk about His Excellency, I think a 100-page book will not suffice. I came to know His Excellency back in 1999. And since then, I was a very close friend of my late husband. And he's been keeping very close tab to our family. Without Chief Barrister Wike, GSS RS, Governor of Rivers State. But to make matters short, I just put down my thoughts on paper. And I want to say that Your Excellency and members of Council, valedictories are always emotional because they are parting moments. This journey we started in 2015, in and out of this government, is ending today. It seems like yesterday. It has been an awesome experience working with you, the Deputy Governor, and the other members of Council, some of whom we have lost, but still remember today. On this occasion, I'm wishing their souls a continuous repose in the Lord. Permit me to say here that your leadership style, political endeavors, and governance has further enhanced the status of Rivers State in the Committee of States, and I feel most privileged to have served in the Executive Council. Under your watch, Your Excellency, women enjoyed prominence like never before. Your policy to involve women in governance has carved out a niche for us, propelling us and increasing our capacity to do more with great expectations. With the very recent one you did, by giving us and encouraging women to go to the Rivers State House of Assembly. Your Excellency, we're grateful. Your Excellency, you believed in the saying that what is good for the geese is good for the gander, which informed the way you reacted and handled the challenges that confronted you as an individual and as a government. No wonder you'll be remembered for your slogan, Ihendeba, Ihendeba. You were deep in your thoughts and strategic in planning and execution. You are that man who is imitated all over, but never rivaled. Finally, I want to thank my colleagues for moments and relationships shared. And I pray the Almighty that He will grant you, Your Excellencies, wisdom and protection in your future endeavor. I want to say, Your Excellency, that as a widow of 17 years, without you projecting me, it would have been a lot of difficulty for me to train my children. My children were just in JS when my husband passed. But today, I have 2 of them lawyers, and one of them has a master's already. I want to thank you for reaching out. Your compassion knows no bounds. Even by seeing the person, I don't know how you do it. There are a lot of times you have given things that people will be wondering, how did you know that I needed this? But that is the man you are, a man of great compassion. And I want to join my colleagues to thank you for being who you are, for reaching out, for doing the things that God lay in your hearts to do. I want to thank God, most especially, for the opportunity that today I'm standing and addressing the Rivers State Executive Council. I still pledge. In 2015, nobody gave you an opportunity. And I say...
3 seconds.
Yes, we stood by you.
3 seconds.
And I say that even now, I pledge my unalloyed support and loyalty to you. Inyerisi, Meka, Radigi, God bless your excellencies. God bless Rivers State. Thank you.
Yes, Commissioner Works. Commissioner Women Affairs, put off your mic.
Your Excellency and members of council, I must say this is another historic moment for us all. Like my dear friend and brother said, the Commissioner for Sports, yes, no one will say it's not an emotional moment. But for me, it's a time to give gratitude. Gratitude first to God for making me cross your path. Gratitude next for finding me worthy to serve. I must say it's a rare privilege to serve under you, to serve under a man of vision, a man of commitment, a man with drive, a man with energy, a man with a political will. What is our service about? Our service is all about helping or assisting in the translation of that vision born by the visionary himself. I must say I'm proud to be part of the New Rivers vision. I'm very, very proud to be part of you. I'm very, very proud to be one of your lieutenants, and so will I continue to be. Your Excellency, you've been a man of excellence and I've learned a lot. You've been a manager of persons, you've been a manager of resources, a prudent manager of resources, you've been a manager of politics, you've been a prudent manager of projects, just like he said, you do supervise your project yourself most times. And of course, you kept us on our toes many a times, because we all have to know all details about our projects and the status of our projects every time. You must have all details of your projects offhand, because Excellency has all of them offhand. He knows the details of the payment for over 400 projects offhand. So why will you, the Commissioner, not be equipped with such? Excellency, thank you for all of that. Excellency, so far, the Ministry of Works, through your prompt funding of projects, has been able to achieve over 920 kilometers of road, including dualized road, over 600 kilometers of drains, over 10.11 kilometers of flyovers, over 1.378 kilometers of river crossing bridges, over 94 hectares of sampling and reclamation, and over 1.2 kilometers of Reno-Matra shore protection. Your Excellency, if I decide to put this into figures, it runs into trillions of naira. What am I trying to say here? You spent rivers resources very, 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 very. I've learned certain things from you, and I'll continue to use them all the days of my life. Be firm, be committed, be steadfast, be consistent in your loyalty, be honest, and give the best in all that you do. Always put value on the table. And yes, Wike will not forget you. Trust me. Thank you, and God bless you.
Commissioner Youth.
Your Excellency, the Chairman, and members of the Council, today marks my 33rd month in two successions as a member of this world-class Executive Council, a council embodied with best brains from diverse fields. Your Excellency, let me thank you immeasurably for finding me fit and worthy to be part of your success story. Your Excellency, within the period that I served with you, there are times of downtime, there are times of shortfall. I want to thank you for your leniency, for your pardon. Your Excellency, I'm also grateful and very appreciative for giving me the privilege to work with these personalities that are seated here. My colleagues are so superb. They are persons that are productive, people that are impactful, and people that are always available at points of need. Your Excellency, permit me at this point to express my gratitude to our erudite professors, whom I think that throughout my period with them seemed scholarly, because in our various engagements, I have learned a lot. Your Excellency, let me thank especially the people I consider as the three wise men: the head of service, the acting director of BOPP, and the sole administrator, Greater Port Harcourt City. Sitting close to them.
Why do you call them three wise men?
Your Excellency,
in which of the wise men to who?
Your Excellency, I classify them as three wise men because at any point of our discussion, it is enriched with wisdom. When you hear them talk, they talk out of content.
You talk out of content?
Yes, sir. Content.
So the people are not wise.
He didn't engage with them.
Just go and come.
Your Excellency, I would also seek your leave to appreciate someone that I call the chosen one. He is the Commissioner for Works.
Who choose him?
I choose him.
Oh, you are choosing one, not the choosing one.
You're choosing one.
You are choosing one.
Your Excellency, in my language, I consider him the chosen one, and I also call him my special one.
Okay.
He has been so helpful, he has been so understanding, he has so made me bring out the best in me throughout the period in this council. To all our members, you are wonderful persons. You have content, you have character. Your Excellency, truly I have learned so much in terms of capacity building, in terms of being unwavering, in terms of being bold, in terms of facing my fears. Though, Your Excellency, I came here with dreams, and those dreams I know fell in line with the New River's vision. But But most importantly, Your Excellency, I've learned that missions and visions are nothing without passion. I have dreams, but yet I knew that the dreams are like concepts. And like concepts, some are aborted, while others are stillborn. Your Excellency, today we all agree that all is well that ends well. I want to declare in my mind, in my soul, and my spirit that we ended well. Your Excellency, thank you. Thank you immeasurably. My wife.
1 minute more.
My wife and 4 beautiful kids. Thank you. The land of Omok. Thank you. The entire population in Federal College of Education Technical Omok, where I served as a lecturer, they appreciate you. Oba Ebeman Doni people are so appreciative. In English language, the best I can say is thank you. In every other language, the interpretation of thank you is thank you. But Your Excellency, in Omok, we have a special way of saying thank you. Permit me to use the Omok dialect in saying thank you. Mbana wo, mbana wo. That is what distincts Omok thank you from every other thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency.
I was thinking that you are thanking me in a mock way by presenting something to me. and this is the first time I've seen you wearing a suit. It's like for the valedictory session, you went and bought the new suit. Yes, Chairman.
Your Excellency, the Chairman of the Council, other Excellencies, my colleagues. Your Excellency, let me once again, just like my colleagues, thank God Almighty for a day like this. It's a day that is expected because we know by our regulation and the laws of this country, you have 8 years to serve. I'm sure if that's not the case, Rivers people wouldn't even allow you to move to anywhere. But I have a little bit different story, Your Excellency. You remember that for us, initially we didn't see you on a very good light, especially that day at the Supreme Court when you moved out Celestino Meyer as the governor of Rivers. I was at the court that very day.
Who moved him out?
When you and your team.
He did not contest election. If he contested election, he would have been moved.
That was a very dark day.
That was the day you celebrate democracy.
That was a very dark day.
That a man who did not contest election became governor.
Your Excellency, after that, most of us went on exile, especially those who have now allowed affliction to come a second time. They've gone back to where we were in those days. But some of us who were in faraway South Korea saw ourselves as Nigerian ambassador without connection to their various states. Until the day you came for a seminar in Seoul and told me that, one, that you want to recover PDP in Rivers State, and two, that you have signed a covenant to change the landscape and the status of Rivers people. And I believed you. I came home and saw the grassroots development initiative being inaugurated, and then equally saw that you have a vision that you call the New Rivers Vision. I keyed in. And from there, as activities took up, you now informed me that you want me to serve as Director General of your campaign. Sir, I voiced out, sir, it would have been better to take a professional politician. He said, no, I want you to work with me. And we started a journey that I saw a different Rivers man. A man who is committed to the cause of Rivers people. A tireless man. A man who is not ready to play with time and was not ready for frivolity in any way. And for you, the best was for Rivers people. And we started a journey to traverse all the nooks and crannies of Rivers State in speaking to them. Even when people were against your candidature because of the ethnic group where you come from. He said, no, I have a mission and I have a duty. And at the end of the day, all odds were there. All things were against you. But one thing that stood by you was your language, that every politics is local. And for you is the public, the people that are on your own side. The military came. They came with all their might. And at the end of the day, Your Excellency, yes, most of the elections were annulled. At the end of the day, the lower court, the Court of Appeal, and we were only left with Supreme Court in your usual way. He said, you believe in this God, that God will make it. I saw myself again at the Supreme Court the second time. I said, this time around, I believe God will answer our prayer. We entered the court 8 a.m. in the morning, but our case came up around 6 p.m. Your Excellency, you are declared victorious. Rivers State changed. And then a new journey where you now properly started governance. Because for those other periods, you were really detracted and most of the things were not done. For this other second tenure, we followed you, and for every bit of decision, your interest was that of Rivers people. Your Excellency, I want to thank you. For me, you added another feather by telling me to go to Greater Port Harcourt and perform certain assignments. We got there, quite unlike other things. We saw that a house, the building of a house started from the roof and not the foundation. And when we looked at, of course, what the Bible said, if the foundation is strong, what can the righteous do? And we discovered, we saw certain things on ground. 45-kilometer road that never started, but 12 billion was spent. We saw the most expensive hospital in the world called Caribbean White Hospital. We have about $30 million was spent. $39 million was spent with only grasses on the floor. Your Excellency, we saw certain things called Centenary City. You even intervened, taking the contractors to London to explain to you issues. We discovered that if we continue that project, it will have looked like selling your cow to buy a goat. And some of those things stopped. But you still did not stop. You said, no, we will do the much we can do. And today, on that soil, you've made land available to corporate bodies. CBN today is building their staff quarters. Share Cooperative is handling their own project. The Nigerian College of Surgeon and Dental Council, they are building their headquarters where exams will be taken in Nigeria, not that people traveling outside anymore. Peter and Petroleum Technology are actually constructing theirs. And then, of course, the Nigerian Police Women Association, we've made available a place for them. And then other institutions, the Anglican Church, schools are being handled today because he said, no, that place, corporate bodies should handle it, and for things you know that should succeed.
1 minute, Chairman.
Your Excellency,
because you are Chairman, I don't want you to remove me from the party.
I want to sincerely thank you for opportunity to work with you. For some of us, diplomats on coming back home, they look for what to do, but you provided one for me. And from where I come from, Oyibo, we are grateful for what you did for us during the crisis that our people brought from the other side of the east. And you stood by Oyibo people, said our land will not be swallowed. And during COVID, you saved Rivers people. You provided for them. Your Excellency will continue to work with you.
Thank you.
We will go with you. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you. Just 1 minute.
Your Excellencies, the Chairman of Council, and incoming Excellencies, mine is a second coming because I've done this before. The Director General of the Bureau on Public Procurement, for which you called me forth from Nigerian Ajib, where I was serving. I was doing infrastructure projects up to the process plants in Ebocha, NGL plants in Italy, and at home, where we came to implement them. I was the first Nigerian content manager in Ajib. Then the call came. I was 2.5 years into my retirement, and I was worried. I said, government, is it not fair? Is it not better for me to retire in Abuja and just stay there? And he called again. Then I asked. My colleague said, okay, why don't you take secondment? I took secondment. I came here, sir. It was a revelation. Secondment? 2 months afterwards, I went back to Ajib and told them goodbye. That this is the real deal. I met gentlemen, great personalities, and with your tutelage, direction, you taught me first, and the first baptism, like every other person has said here, the first 2 projects, Obrikwere, Sakoma Bori. What is the length of that road? Have you gone to verify that? Oh my goodness, I hadn't been there. But they had bidded for the job. It's the first phase, before they added the other step to come up. And then he taught me to always go verify whether the consultants had done their work and to verify it. And particularly, sir, you reviewed even a job that has been advertised, and they said, look, let's check for Bill 1. Bill 1 was the portion that was set aside, where when we reviewed it, you saw houses that were provided and so on, all summed up to Bill 1. It was 1/3, 1/4 of the total cost of the project. We took it up, and you by your direction. And that happened subsequently to other projects. And by that savings from these huge projects, we got about 8 billion naira, sir. Sakwabori and the one to, that's the other road to, no, not Kano, the Unity Road, that it was called. Thank you very much, sir, for that experience. So in all my knowings and doings in the oil and gas, I never had that kind of experience to further go and verify. And that taught me a lesson in reviewing, even because it has been found, and everybody says go to the public and advertise. What about the quantities? If you advertise with that wrong quantity, you are going to be in deep problems, because that's where the fraud starts. You're able to get it right. Thank you very much for that teaching. Well, we got into the Bureau on Public Procurement, where you gave us a free hand. Even for projects where by law, Section 21 sub 4 says that the governor shall have the powers to execute 30% of the project. You still, most of them.
The law didn't say government shall execute, government shall execute. But can approve.
Yes, sir.
So approval is not execution.
No, the governor shall have the powers to approve,
but not to execute.
Well, I think it's a paradigm or something like that. Yeah, but that's what Section 20 of 4 says.
Okay.
Yes, sir. Anyway, so that overarching power in the law, you still went ahead and passed through the Bureau on Public Procurement. So we started with direct fund releases to the Bureau, where all of the staff there were very happy, and they are working assiduously to fulfill the targets that you set for the Bureau. And we started innovating. The public discussion now today is on e-procurement. The first step of e-procurement is e-registration, digitizing of all the documentation, which we have achieved, sir. And going further, you have provided for us, for the Bureau, a grand building in the Waterline area, the Waterline House. That's a brand new building that you've done. By the next few weeks, we would have moved in there. Where the Bureau has been staying, it's hired building, which doesn't even meet the standard of what you provided for the Bureau. And everybody from the Bureau is beautiful, they're happy.
1 minute.
Yes, thank you very much. Sir, we thank you. I support all other speakers who have said so many wonderful things about you. And for me, personally, they used to call me FOG too, friend of the governor, but it is not the case because you have the big stick most times. Friend of the governor, you don't know what I passed through because most times it is all of that. So I thank you so much. And today, sir, coincidentally, the book launch is happening. And all my colleagues here, what they've said has been espoused in those books. The leadership quality. Your lecturer, Professor Julius Ibubare, also said in one of his statements that you will be a dissertation and a thesis for students to come, yet unborn, that will study you, the years of weekend phenomenon.
Thank you, time up.
Thank you very much.
Time up.
Thank you. Yes.
Head of service. I'm afraid I have to. Don't go outside the 3 minutes. Don't start from your Bible quotation now. Yes.
Excellency, members of the 8th Executive Council, ladies and gentlemen, as I rise before Your Excellency on this historic valedictory session, I remember the words of Rosalind Carter. He categorized leaders into two. The regular leaders who take people where they want to go, and the great leaders who take people where they don't necessarily want to go, but ought to be. Your Excellency, you fall within the second category of leaders. Those determined with raw courage, undiluted passion, to take people to where he wants them to be, even though they may not be willing to go there. We are where we are today because one man had a vision and raw passion to take us to the El Dorado that the whole world acknowledges River State to be today. That's because you are a great leader. Thanks to Your Excellency. Your Excellency, the summary of what I'm going to say is that I'm leaving behind a candle for my successor. But on Friday, 16 July, when I was sworn in by Your Excellency, in this hallowed chambers, from where I proceeded to my office, I met a labyrinth of darkness, an uncharted path without even the benefit of a handover note or brief. And so the journey began like a wayfarer. I had to chart a path, for there was none for me to go through. Guided only by your vision to turn around and reposition the civil service for effective and efficient service delivery and the reorientation in their value ethic. And that became our mantra. Your Excellency, the whole world that is watching this special valedictory session will be shocked at what Your Excellency has achieved for the service of River State. When we came in, we had a bloated workforce of 54,472 civil servants as at May 2015, and with a huge gargantuan wage bill. Today, through Your Excellency's determined and committed inheritance of an antagonistic and belligerent labor unions that saw themselves as alternative government. They did not give us a breathing space. And that I said bred indiscipline, and I was not ready to brood it. For the first time, I summoned the raw courage of my leader, His Excellency, the governor, and issued query to 3 union leaders, and they threatened hell and brimstone. Because I briefed His Excellency and I had his support, when the union leaders brought their leader, Waba from Abuja, we sat here. His Excellency asked them one question: have you answered the query from the head of service? We said that will be the beginning of any discussion. Thanks, Your Excellency, for sending us out as full soldiers, but not abandoning us on the battlefield. That gave me strength to face them. And the rest, as they say, is history today. We have a new leadership of NLC and TUC that are conscious that trade unionism is not about war with government, but in partnership, so we can work out how best to serve our people. Your Excellency, I thank you to think on our during the celebration of Your Excellency's 100 days in office, there was a blind musician from Okrika who forced his way into the venue, and he was screaming like blind Bartimaeus. He wanted to enter the hall. His Excellency allowed him to come in. He said he has the talent to sing, but he has no music equipment. Your Excellency may have forgotten. You directed him to me. He said I should find out what kind of equipment he wanted. And the boy was very ambitious. He said he wanted a studio, complete with every equipment and acoustics and strings and all of that. And I went and presented the budget to His Excellency. His Excellency released the fund. When we bought the equipment and took to the church...
1 minute.
Yes, Excellency. And took the equipment to the church said even their own equipment as an entire church is not as large as this blind man. But unfortunately, he never came back like one of the 10 lepers to thank Your Excellency. Your Excellency, looking back today, 8 years when I came in, I was apolitical. Today, I feel proud to say, working under you very closely, I am now a politician. I'm a politician of the Wike school. And in that school, I do not wish to graduate.
Which of the world? Asrama Award?
Your Excellency, I shall conclude with the testimony that I share with the psalmist David, the son of David, the son of Jesse. In Psalm 68, verse 28 and 19 and 29, he said, in all his adversities, the Lord God Almighty has enlightened his darkness, and by him he has scaled over a troop, and by him he has walked through, he has scaled over a wall and passed through a troop. Your Excellency, my troop and my wall are the challenges that I face in the course of being the head of service. But I cannot fail on behalf of the people of Rivers State, beyond my family, that we all set out to serve, to remember that today, when we came in, out of those who came with us, only 12 are here. The rest have undergone different transmutation. And I'm the longest serving member of this cabinet, the only one who was never affected by the different dissolution of the council. and I owe it all to Your Excellency's trust and confidence. Above all, Your Excellency, I shall live with this sentiment that you knew that I love writing, and you gave me this golden pen. And you knew also, my Excellency, that I love to keep the time, and you gave me this watch. I shall treasure them.
Yes, Chief of Staff.
Your Excellency.
Ordinarily, you're not a member of the Executive Council, but having been a sort of observer, long observer, will allow you to make some remarks.
Thank you, Your Excellency, members of Council, for this privilege. The privilege has been described by several speakers here, and I think mine, I like words to describe mine for several reasons. Your Excellency, I am one of the first 6 political appointees of this present administration. On the 12th of June 2015, in these hallowed chambers, I was sworn in alongside Kenneth Kobani, Secretary to Government, Barrister.
Can I answer them? So was Secretary to Government, not that Secretary to Government.
Former Secretary to Government.
Yeah.
And let me say that we are privileged to be seated here today at the last day of the lifespan of this administration with my brother, Fred Bako. So it is a privilege. And in a situation like this, I find it very, very difficult, and I like words to speak for several reasons. If I say it the way others are expressing it, those who are watching from afar, who are not members of this, even outside the state, will say, what do you expect from the Chief of Staff to the Governor? If I say it in another way, I will only be repeating what several persons across the world have spoken before, including the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Members of the 4th Estate of the realm have given you back-to-back awards of performances and all that. And most importantly, right inside these hallowed chambers, 30 persons have spoken before me. I'm the 31st speaker. So what else am I going to say? First, Your Excellency, with your permission, let me express my gratitude. First to God Almighty for the privilege to be appointed out of approximately 6 million Rivers persons, and the privilege to be here for 8 good years. Secondly, to you, Your Excellency, for finding me worthy, for believing that I cannot betray you and keeping me close to you in the last 8 years on the life of this administration. But let me also put on record that my relationship with you, members of your family and mine, have been since 1999 till date, uninterrupted. Thank you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, permit me also to express my gratitude to all the workforce in Government House, all the security, the media, the protocol, and all the rest of them. I will come to that later about our...
You don't have the time, no?
All right, Excellency. Because I do not have the time, let me take one particular point here to express. Several speakers have said about your performance and everything, but of particular interest to me that I must express here today is after the presidential primaries last year. I recall in a meeting where we were seated with those who where you have close confidence and the close confidence of this administration. Some of them blood relations, some of them political associates of long. And, Your Excellency, of course, at the end of that meeting, those who had claimed to be pillars of this administration, some of them had even claimed to their supporters at home that they were the brain boss of His Excellency's performances, deserted His Excellency. It was a very difficult moment. Several persons have talked about bringing the Southern presidency, but what is important as your Chief of Staff is the fact that we are seated here at these hallowed chambers to conduct a valedictory section at the end of this administration. Seated by your right-hand side is the Governor-elect of Rivers State, who will take over. And by your left-hand side, I mean, at the left-hand side of the Deputy Governor is the Deputy Governor-elect. All that would not have been possible when it almost looked impossible, because those who felt that they were the pillars of the administration had disappeared. But we want them both at the national election and the governorship election, 14/14. Excellency, this can only be summarized in the words of your teacher and the guest lecturer today as a description of vision, courage, commitment, and critical thinking. That's the words of Professor Ihimbaru. Sir, I've watched and worked with you closely.
90 seconds.
I've seen people who had believed before come out on national television. Those who have extended good causes in terms of logistics and all that. Sometimes they go to national television and say, you are this, you are that. I've also watched those who are clapping today as the best governor, infrastructure governor, and all that. I am not unaware of the fact that 10 years down the line, 20 years down the line, some of those people will be singing a different story. And Excellency, I have decided, as your Chief of Staff, to download the activities of His Excellency in the last 8 years, beginning from your inauguration on the 29th of May 2015 to yesterday, the flag off of the reading of the traditional rulers, in several volumes of 4 terabyte flash drive. Your Excellency, permit me, and with your indulgence, to present this as a token of your appreciation for your love, so that this will be as a record. When you leave office, and then people who commission and flag off projects.
Open what's in the envelope. I don't know what's in the envelope.
Your Excellency, we will go back to these records.
Okay. Yes.
Your Excellency, thank you, and may God bless your family in Jesus' name.
Yes, Excellency.
Your Excellency, the Governor, the Chairman, Your Excellencies, distinguished members of Council, a lot has been said, but I think I will still have a little more to add. Your story is like that of the story of the elephant, the proverbial elephant and the blind man. So many perspectives to take, so permit me to add just a little. I want to start.
It will be within the 3 minutes, so that I don't to add
yes,
it.
Within 3 minutes. Let me start by thanking God for the privilege to serve as your SSG. And also thank God that ours is indeed a very successful government by all standards and in all ramifications. Your Excellency, yours is a remarkably successful government. It's a lizard that said that even if nobody praised him, when he jumps down from the tree, he will nod his head to praise himself. Yours is a remarkably successful government, and I make bold to say, sir, that nobody can gainsay the fact that you came, you saw, and you transformed our dear state. I am very proud to be part of your transformational government and also to share in the glory of your laudable achievements. I can only say that God Almighty will reward you for your service to His people in Rivers State, and history and posterity will record your name in gold. On a personal note, sincerely, I don't know how to thank you. Words are really not enough for me to thank you for always allowing God to use you as an instrument for my upliftment. I came to know you in 2001 when you were local government chairman. Then I wasn't holding any political office. When you helped me to protect the land I bought somewhere on Ada George Road. From then to my appointment as commissioner and my appointment as minister, you were always there for me as an enabler and a destiny helper. As if all that was not enough, you again brought me into the very engine room of your government as SSG. I said, I don't know how to thank you, but I know that God will reward you. And you will always have my respect and my loyalty. I must say, sir, that working with you as SSG has been a most worthy, inspiring, educative, and rewarding experience. Indeed, I've had a couple of political experience working with different leaders. But I must say, sir, that working under you has taught me invaluable lessons. Lessons in courageous leadership, in pragmatic leadership, in proactive leadership. You are indeed a role model when it comes to leadership, practical leadership. By sheer courage, wisdom, and discipline, you were able to break impossible barriers in several areas, which has brought us the infrastructural revolution we're enjoying in the state today, and of course the transformational leadership that we are seeing and all and sundry are claiming you for. I must say, sir, that I am very proud to call you my leader. You are indeed a great leader, and it is very evident in the various landmarks you have left in the state. Most of the commissioners have catalogued some of them. I don't know where to start from. Is it the security architecture you put in place? And you've been managing all these years in the state that has given us the peaceful ambience we are having all over the state? Is it the way you encourage security agencies, injured security personnel, or dead ones, their families? Is it your large heart that sees you generously encouraging us at all times? Is it your lion heart that, gives us the encouragement to break barriers, following you, knowing that you are always there leading us? I can't enumerate. You're a man that is miles ahead of your peers. I want to say, sir, that myself...
5 seconds.
Yes, sir. My children and my family were eternally grateful to you. The office of the SSG, all the staff of the office of the SSG, and indeed the cabinet staff who are here with us always, we bring you our warm gratitude, sir. You've been a leader, you've been a mentor. We thank you. I want to say thank you, sir, for what you have allowed God to use you to do for all of us and for his people in Rivers State. I want to also thank all my colleagues
Time up.
For your support, your tolerance, and your cooperation all these years. I think His Excellency deserves our rising ovation. Let's stand up and give
Thank you. Sit down. The Deputy Governor. You have 4 minutes. No, Deputy Governor, sit down. Sit down.
Your Excellency and Chairman of Executive Council, Your Excellencies, and members of the Executive Council. Your Excellency, thank you for giving me this opportunity to make these few remarks at this valedictory session. First of all, thank God Almighty for this day, for seeing the end of this Executive Council joyfully and very successfully. We thank God Almighty. I also want to thank His Excellency for the opportunity and the rare privilege of working with him as a 2-term Deputy Governor and as the first female Deputy Governor since the inception of Rivers State in 1957. Indeed, when at the outset in 2015, we came in and saw the courts shut down for over a year. The assembly was not holding. They were holding in one hall somewhere in Government House. All the primary health centers were shut down for over 15 months. No immunizations were going on. People seem to forget that even civil servants had not been paid for 6 months. Pensioners had not been paid for over 9 months. And His Excellency took it on head-on. In his first speech, immediately the courts were open. It was like magic. Immediately a CJ to the state was appointed. It was like magic. Immediately the House of Assembly was reopened. And within 2 months or so, all the primary health centers came back functioning. And within 1 year, we had attained almost 85% immunization coverage for all the children under 5, and so many other things that happened. I find in him a very compassionate leader, very, very kind. And he's so passionate about Rivers people. He always wants to put Rivers State and Rivers people at the center of everything. And he wants the limelight, Rivers State, to always be in the limelight nationally and internationally. Hence, it was called POS Africa. That was how he brought Africa to Rivers State in sports. And so many other ways he has brought Rivers State into limelight. Rivers State was no longer just that state. Rivers State was the state in Nigeria. And we thank him very much for that leadership. And also, for me, I want to thank him for giving me the opportunity to hand over to another woman, Deputy Governor of Rivers State. A woman of capacity. She was heading one of my departments when I was principal of School of Health Technology, Department of Medical Laboratory Sciences. And when I was permanent secretary and acting commissioner of Ministry of Health, she was the director of Planning, Research and Statistics. So I want to thank Your Excellency for being so gender sensitive, and also for all our vice chairmen across the 23 local government areas, this second tenure running that we have had this sort of trajectory. And I now see that other states are copying it and are now making, just keeping that slot for so that by, our women are now having the courage to show their capacity, that they too can show integrity in their functions, and they are working cooperatively with their principals in their various local governments and so on. And it's giving Rivers State peace. It's giving Rivers State overall good governance. Even in the local government areas, there are projects going on. They are following the leader and showing good governance and integrity. And so the whole of the state is peaceful and developing. We thank His Excellency for that great leadership. And also, I want to thank His Excellency for supporting the humble nomination of myself to the Senatorial West District as Senator representing Senatorial West, and to say that I will do like he does, keep Rivers State at the center of things. Make sure that that same light that is shining here, we'll take it to the National Assembly and let Rivers State shine. And so on behalf of all those of us who are going to the National Assembly, the members of the House of Representatives, the senators, and that we will work together cooperatively to make sure that we work in tune. We are a team with our governor coming in on Monday and his deputy. We work together as a team to shine the light of Rivers State in Abuja, in the Federal Republic of Nigeria, so that whatever they are doing, they have to make sure that Rivers State counts in it. So I thank you very much, Your Excellency, for this tutorship, for learning from you. You have been a mentor, you have been a great leader, and I wish you the very best as you go on in life. And please give our very best regards to your dear wife, the one that you always have to take permission from when you have to do it. Because she's such a support. She's such a loving woman. She's such a brilliant woman. I don't know how to describe her well, but I just love her. And I want you to please thank her for how she takes care of you and the children and the whole state. God bless you, sir.
Thank you. Well, members of council, in life, there's a time for the beginning, there's a time for the end. Some of you were saying it's emotional. You know that in life, that there's a time you are born, and there's a time you leave. As a civil servant, the time you are employed, you know, at a certain age you will retire. But because of this recent affidavit of change of age, by the end of the day, you will still retire one day. As a public servant, as a public appointee, you know that once you are appointed, a day, it will come to an end. As an elected public officer, you know you are tenured. Today, you are sworn in as governor, you are sworn in as president, you are sworn in as chairman of council, or as a member of the legislature. You know when the tenure will come to an end, so you must prepare. Yes, it's emotional because of the interactions you have had to sit with colleagues, and that opportunity may no longer be there. The way you joke amongst yourself may not longer be there. But one thing is important in life that everybody must go home with to say. There was a time I was called to support, to work for Rivers State. At that time, what happened? What were our contributions? Everybody is saying today, we have done well, we have done well. No one person did well. Everybody did well. The governor alone cannot, on his own, be in charge of everywhere. The governor needs people who will work for him. All he does is from time to time find out whether things are moving on well or not. So that I've done well, for me, it's not to myself. Those who are responsible for our state shining today are all of you who are seated here, who have worked from morning till night. So I want to sincerely thank you for the support. There's no service that is easy. You don't expect to do well all the time. There's time you must make mistakes as human. But what is important in life, I've made a mistake. Have I learned from that mistake? Have I been able to correct the mistakes I have made? That's what is important in life. So everybody I can go home now and be happy to say, yes, I participated when they said River State became one of the leading states in this country. When they said there was infrastructure revolution in this state. When they said we stood our ground and challenged authorities. We stood our ground and fought the federal government when we know they violated the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We're not afraid. Yes, we had a lot of problems. From 2015 when we came, we met a hostile federal government. It was not easy for us, but with God, we survived it. Like the parish chairman said, from 2015, when the elections were nullified from the State Assembly to National Assembly to governorship, we remained undaunted. Yes, we remained undaunted. There were reruns and reruns and reruns and reruns. But God was on our side. We survived it. And we have never chickened out to speak the truth. We've never chickened out to say what we believe in. And we give God the glory. So I want to sincerely thank each and every one of you here for your contributions. To work with me, I've always said, is very difficult. I've said that from the beginning. And those of you who were able to work with me for 8 years, I know what you must pass. You must have passed through. It's not as if I have any misgivings, but that I always want the best for our state. Our team, we have done well. We've tried, our political team, we have done well. Luckily for us, we did not have an opportunity of anybody handing over to us. We never had an opportunity to be handed over any document. In fact, it was even difficult to get a parade vehicle. We had to borrow from the governor of Ondo State, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko, who borrowed us the vehicle to do a parade during the swearing-in. That tells you how bad it was, how wicked the previous administration was, to the point where I couldn't pack to government house for more than a year because everything was looted, down to pillowcases, down to bed sheets were looted. The kitchen was looted. But that is not the case today. The governor-elect has been part of the government. The deputy governor-elect has been part of this government. We thank God that we are going to hand over successfully to the government-elect. I'm sure everybody is happy that you can go home, nobody will stone you to say, look at these criminals. They looted the treasury of the state. No one common project. No. You can go home and tell everybody, challenge me. Which area did you say we are lacking? No local government in this state can say that we have not impacted in their own local government. Not one. From Rivers West to Rivers East to Rivers Southeast. Not one local government can say so. So, you can go home and say, God, I thank you that I was in the team that brought Rivers State to the limelight, where today Nigerians respect. I've told you we are not second-class citizens, and we cannot be second-class citizens. Wherever you are, be proud to be a Rivers man and a Rivers woman. Don't ever play a second fiddle role to anybody, because God has given us what it takes. So I once more would say thank you. Miss most of the interactions no longer call me this commissioner. It's no longer available. Okay, call me commissioner of work. It's no longer available. So you may not have any high blood pressure again. I thank God that the high blood pressure will have to stop, but the relationship will continue to be there. All we need is to pray for the incoming government, support them. Where he finds you necessary to be part of his cabinet, do not disappoint us by saying no. Where he also does not mean that if you're not a member of the cabinet, you will not support the administration. That is what we should bear in mind, that, like somebody said, there are 6 million Rivers people, and then you're given opportunity to serve for 6 months. If you begin to divide it, you know that is a privilege that everybody will be hustling for. So your prayers are needed for them. We will find ourselves in different things. Some of us will go back to our professions with your support, and by God's blessing, today we have opened the gate. Chasing away agents of Satan. Agents of Satan, we never knew that Satan had planted his agents until God opened our eyes. And we will never fall into that kind of temptation again. So, God has exposed them, and will continue to pray for the incoming government not to have the kind of experience we had, because it was not easy. It was not easy for us, but in all, we give thanks to God. So it does not matter you have money, you don't have money, but you are going home satisfied. I worked for River State. I'm happy they're talking about what we did. Anywhere you go, there's nobody that will not talk about this administration. Anywhere you go. So that alone can make you feel comfortable in life. Money will come when it will come. Let me thank the Cabinet Secretariat. Yes, I've shouted on you. That is just to make you be strong. Yes, be strong. You are wearing suit. I don't know why you bought the suit. I don't know whether I'll call this one suit or coat. But be assured that the incoming government will do whatever is necessary to give you all the necessary support. It's not easy to take records, and we have never had a situation where the records of the council are the pages of the government will do the needful to make sure that you are happy. And so let me also thank the governor-elect and the deputy governor-elect. Of course, you have also witnessed most of our cabinet meetings. You have been part of government. We pray that you will surmount any obstacle. We pray that you will do better than what we have done. People will appreciate you more than they have appreciated us. So just be firm and make sure that Rivers' interest first before any other interest. Do not, for whatever anybody will blackmail to make you see another state greater than Rivers. It does not exist. Rivers State is the greatest state in this country. And don't not think that there's any state that should be first before you. No. whether anybody likes it, whether we have a president or don't have a president, our state is #1 state in this country. So we don't care. We have survived it before, we'll continue to survive it. So members of the press, we sincerely thank you for your support, for your coverage all the time. Even though sometimes you have been hostile to us, sometimes your editors and managers have tried to be funny, but it's okay. We're forgiving you. Tell them I'm forgiving them. I'm forgiving them. But for those of you who have already remained with us here, well, thank you so much. It has not been easy. I know how difficult every day you are following us to one area to the other. I sincerely thank you. Gentlemen, as required, this is our last ESCO. So there will be no more executive council. In the next 1 second, ESCO has been dissolved. And so you are now become former commissioners, former SSG, former chief of staff. I am state governor. I am not former governor. Until Monday, I become former governor. So for now, you are hereby former commissioners. Thank you, and God bless you. Give us that short Calabari prayer. Thank you.
At TVC News, wherever the big news story is happening, we're geared up to break it. TVC News, first with breaking news.
In Ambaka village of Wamba local government, the captives were rescued on huts.
The police personnel rescued 2 kidnapped victims and arrested 5 suspected kidnappers.
A total of 10 kidnappers, 3 gun runners, 13 cultists were arrested, while a total of 3 firearms and 497 ammunition were recovered. Godwin Agua, TVC News, Lafia.
The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has destroyed about 21,721,798 kilograms of various illicit drugs seized between 2008 and 2023 in Enugu International Airport. Chairman of the agency, Major General Buba Marwa, retired, who was represented by NDLA Director of Investigation and Prosecution, Samuel Gazama, conducted the burning of the exhibit. Bamidele Ajayi has more.
A 2021 report released by the United Nations Office for Drug and Crime says in the last 24 years, cannabis potency had increased as much as 4 times. The Nigerian Drug Use Survey in the year under review stands at 14.3 million, with close to 3 million persons suffering from drug use disorder. To ensure the elimination of the use of illicit drugs in Nigeria, The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency has destroyed some exhibits seized in Enugu Command.
It is done. It is done.
NDLEA, being the lead agency in the fight against illicit drug abuse, does not only arrest drug offenders, it also engages in aggressive drugs sensitization and awareness advocacy.
On our part, I promise you that the agency will not rest on its arms, but will continue to explore all avenues within the ambit of the law to rid the country of the menace of hard drugs.
They decapitate, they rape even pregnant women, kill children anyhow. This cannot be under normal influence. It is the same drugs.
Breakdown of drugs destroyed are cocaine, 31,699 kilogram, heroin, 14,828 kilogram, amphetamine, 0.0618 kilogram, methamphetamine, 34,347 kilogram, precursor chemical, 154.0 kilogram, cannabis sativa, 23,225.1 kilogram, and pharmaceutical, 281,589 kilogram. The state commander says the command will not relent in this quest to rid the state of illicit substances.
We are relentless in our collective resolve to continue the battle against our public enemies.
The state government commended the drug agency for being the lifeline of defense in tackling drug menace in the state.
I remind you that you have been the last line of our resilience, the last line of our defense in terms of protecting the youth and protecting the future of this nation.
The state commandants commended the federal, state, local government, and international agencies for the support in kicking out illicit drug out of Nigeria. Bamidele Ajayi, TVC News, Enugu.
Kano State Attorney General and Commissioner for Justice Musa Lawan says there is no evidence to link Majority Leader of the House of Representatives Al-Hassan Doguwa with the alleged electoral violence that led to death. The Attorney General disclosed this while briefing journalists in his office in respect of case diaries. Mr. Lawan noted that the Ministry of Justice is of the opinion that it cannot substantiate charges of criminal conspiracy, mischief by fire, and culpable homicide against Ado Doguwa. The outgoing Commissioner for Justice also stressed that statements of those that implicated him were full of contradictions and that they could not find medical evidence to prove that the death of the deceased persons during the violence at Doguwa's country home was caused by him.
We found sufficient evidence in the case file that NNPP supporters brought jerry cans of petrol into their office, and that those that died and others that sustained injuries were amongst those that put the fire on the main road. That one victim by name Labaran Sili stated that his friend, one Mukhtar, was at the scene when the first suspect was shooting him and cutting him with machete. And the statement of that witness, Mukhtar, was not taken in. This is his second statement. In his first statement, he stated that he was together with Buhari Rayanu when the first suspect shot him with a pistol and hit him with a stick. So you can see the discrepancies we are talking about. And the said Buhari Rayanu, in his own statement, stated that he was at NNPP headquarters when the incidents occurred.
The National Industrial Safety Council of Nigeria has asked the federal government to prioritize the industrial safety of Nigerian workers. Speaking at the 2023 Nigeria Safety Conference in Lagos, the national president of NICN, Dr. Festus Daniel, said safety is not just the responsibility of a few, but a collective duty of every individual, organization, and sector. Mr. Daniel said joining forces with the federal government can pave the way for a safer Nigeria, where lives are protected, risks are mitigated, and sustainable development thrives. On his part, the Lagos State Chairman of the Council, Adeyinka Oyediran, said the government should encourage the adoption of safety standard teaching in primary schools.
We cannot continue accommodating accidents in industries like this. We cannot continue accepting foreigners imposing standards on us. We have to create our own standards and we have to enforce our own standards.
You use Internet of Things to promote safety before things go wrong. That means you already bring a safe state to the machines or to whatever equipments that you use the devices on. So I'm trying to say, don't wait until an accident happens, then raise an alarm. Raise it before anything happens.
It is when you are saved in whatever you are doing, you see yourself as being secured. And you need to save yourself while you are asking some other people to add to it. The environment needs to be safe. If you are not safe at home, you cannot be safe at home.
It's our mandate for we to promote the advocacy of safety across the Federation, across all sectors. And what our own aims is to collaborate with all relevant agencies, both private and public, towards giving them the right information.
Safety is everybody's business, that all of us, we have to put our hands together and work in synergy from the civilian sector to the paramilitary and everybody. We all have to just to put our hands on deck and work together and make sure that our country is safe.
Now to Niger State, where Governor Abubakar Sani Bello has emphasized the need for judicial independence and respect for the rule of law in building an equitable society. The governor made this assertion during the inauguration of first dedicated law library in Niger State at the State Ministry of Justice. Chenemi Bameyi reports, and we'll be back with business news.
The popular saying goes that lawyers are different from the laymen, not because they know the law, but because they know where to find the law. Qualitative research and access to informative legal resources is a crucial need in the judicial profession, owing to the dynamism of the law. It is through legal research that lawyers acquaint themselves with recent cases of superior courts and their judgments, which become precedents in delivering judgment for related cases. As a crucial part of the government, legal research helps lawyers to meet the versatile nature of the law, which shapes the justice sector. The Niger State Governor is here at the State Ministry of Justice to commission the first dedicated law library in the state. He maintained that during his 8 years in office, which is about to end, his administration provided the needed support to the judiciary and expressed optimism that the next administration will sustain the efforts so that judiciary will continue to serve its purpose.
They put in a lot of efforts, not in terms of financial investments, but in terms of putting together all the records, all the materials. I'm sure it must have taken a long time to bring together all the materials under one roof. So they had to go around to get all the legal materials and the journals from everywhere to bring here. So you can find everything here at one house as a lawyer that you need for your cases. So yeah.
And I'm sure this will actually go a long way to improve efficiency. That's our target. You have the library, the hard library and the soft library, and of course the Gazette office.
As legislatures continue to write new laws and modify old ones, this dedicated law library will greatly aid legal research and help lawyers meet the dynamism of the law. Chenemi Bameyi, TVC News, Mina.
All right, in business news, reactions is still on over the suspended subsidy removal on petroleum products by the federal government. This time, the organized labor, petroleum products marketers, and civil society organizations have expressed divergent views over the continuous payment of subsidy on premium motor spirit, better known as fuel. They made their assertion in Lagos at the stakeholders roundtable discourse. Sunday, Benibo has detail as package as presented from our studios.
As the May 29 handover date approaches, one of the duties the new administration will face is the much talk about subsidy removal. Successive governments have provided support on fuel prices for decades to keep fuel prices affordable for the general population, with the government spending billions of dollars each year to keep prices low. In this gathering, the Nigerian Labour Congress and other major players in the oil and gas sector are appealing to the incoming administration to abolish fuel subsidy and save the nation's economy from further damage, and rally with relevant stakeholders to ensure a hitch-free gradual removal.
We recognize that the regulation is a topic of immense importance and it has generated diverse perspectives and expectations among stakeholders. This is why we have gathered here today to analyze the perceptions and realities of gains and expectations associated with this policy.
The masses themselves that will buy this product, when they inject what we call scarcity, that we buy it at 450 naira per liter, 500 naira per liter, trade union, everybody have raised the level of PMS. Don't touch it. You must continue to regulate it. But the manipulators are manipulating it and smiling to the banks.
In his address, former president of the TUC, Peter Esele, says unbundling of the downstream oil sector has immense benefits for Nigeria, pointing out that it would lead to rapid inflow of investments and generate more revenue for the country.
I want to assure everyone that there is a provision in the PIA that will protect both consumer and the operator. So we are going to monitor that. We have our own internal mechanism, and that is the pricing template that we monitor daily. That is based on a market fundamentals.
You have to be able to communicate effectively to the Nigerian people. You have to identify the challenges in that sector, why you cannot continue to pay the subsidy, how much are you spending on subsidy annually, and then you also have to find out the corrupt aspect of the subsidy payment. And then when you have been able to identify this, then you now tell Nigerians, this is how much we are spending on subsidy payment, and this is why you want to take it away, and what are the benefits of subsidy removal to the average Nigerian.
Participants were drawn from representatives of the Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria, National Association of Road Transport Owners, NLC, Trade Union Congress, industry regulators, among others.
The various attempts. In an effort to boost economic values of businesses in Lagos State, government has unveiled Healdsburg Speedmaster CX 104.5 color units. The unveiling was one of the various 11-day programs lined up to usher Governor Babajide Sanwo-Olu's administration to the second tenure. Governor Sanwo-Olu was represented by the Special Advisor on Works, Mrs. Aramide Adeyoye, who commended the partnership of Lagos State Printing Commission, Corporation and Lagos State Building Investment Company, and others who produced the edifice with capacity of printing of over 16,500 copies per hour. Governor appreciates all industry players who worked on the project for ensuring that international best practices were applied and necessary building approvals and standards were met. The governor wants everyone to maintain the structure and continue to create a business-friendly environment for customers and other users.
To be here today to commission the Ikeja Town Square complex and unveil a groundbreaking technology marvel, the Healdsburg Speedmaster CX 1045 color unit. This represents more than just a structure of steel and glass. It symbolizes the strength and the resilience of our economy, the entrepreneurial spirit of our citizens, and the opportunities that lie ahead.
It has a lot of benefits in it. Here's what you run on two machines. One, electricity. It reduces the quantity of the electricity used in about 2-3 machines. When it comes to generating, it reduces the fuel you use and even time you use on it. And what you'll use about 3, 4, 5 manpower, you just need one operator on it.
The money realized from the rent that the printing corporation, the one that we gave to government, you hear what the GM said about it, that money, that going forward, they're not going to collect any money from the state government to pay pension for their pensioners, that the rental income from those shops and offices belonging to government is what they will be using to pay their pensioners.
The stock market closed in the red territory, sustaining a price decline on the fourth day of the week. The index of the market drops to 0.20% as prices slides in many trade sectors. Stocks that traded downwards included Cornell, Unilever, Eternal Oil, PZ, and Japol Gold. Now the top gainers for today, we had FTN Cocoa, Tantalizers, Wapik Insurance, and Total and RT Briscoe. Asian shares stumbled to a 2-month low today, and the dollar rose and the impasse and the negotiations to raise the debt ceiling undermined risky assets on worries about the hit to the global economy if the U.S. government defaults. MSCI's broadest index of Asian Pacific shares outside of Japan fell 0.84%. China shares fell 0.53%. Hong Kong Hang Seng Index stumbled 2%, their weakest since 2023. Tokyo Nikkei remained on the outlier in the region and was up 0.25%. E-money features and S&P 500 rose 0.38%. Nasdaq features climbed 1.4% after Corp forecast second quarter revenue more than 50% above Wall Street estimates. European stocks were set for a higher open, with Eurostock 50 features up 0.09%. German DAX features up 0.10%, and FTSE features up 0.15%. Crude oil prices fell today after Russian Deputy Prime Minister Alexander Novak played down the prospect of further OPEC Plus production cuts at its meeting next week. U.S. West Texas Intermediate crude fell to sell at $73.59 with a price decline of 1.01%. Brent also experienced a downward margin of 0.83% to sell at $77.71. Bonny Light also recorded an uptick of 1.31% to sell at $77.34. And for the OPEC basket, crude oil dealers are offering $75.96 per barrel with an upward price margin of 0.96%. That's business news. Next is sports. Stay with us.
Solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Do solemnly swear.
Now that Nigeria's next president has been decided at the poll on February 25, attention is shifted to May 29 Inauguration Day, the commencement of a new 4-year tenure of Nigeria's 16th president since 1960, when the country gained independence. It's going to be the 7th inauguration ceremony since the beginning of the Fourth Republic in 1999. And President-elect Bola Tinubu and Vice President-elect Kashim Shettima will take the oath of office.
You're still watching the news at 7. It's time to take a look at happenings in the world of sports. Deputy Governor of Edo State, Philip Shaibu, will flag off the night Okpekpe International 10-kilometer road race this weekend in Okpekpe at Sako East local government area of Edo State. Shaibu will play a dual role at the event as is expected to participate in the celebratory race and has received this bib for the competition. Participants are receiving running vest, number bib, and chip, while those will complete the 10-kilometer race right from the flag off to the finish line in Okpekpe. will receive medals and certificates. One of the partners for this year's race, Ahonsi Unigbe, has organized a pre-Okpekpe race trial for intending runners of the Ora communities, where at least 100 athletes will be sponsored to the main Okpekpe race.
It's producing Kenya and these East African countries, top marathon winners, gold athletes. I'm sure there's so many in those states that can win those things. I'm sure we have a Usain Bolt somewhere between Noma, Auchi, Benin. We've called 4 different rural communities and gotten students from all those schools to come and do a mock race, and we'll pick the best runners from that race and sponsor their participation in the Okpekpe main race itself. And Petrolon will give out 3 prizes as well. I will give out 3 prizes to the top 3 runners.
We are doing so much to bring new innovations into road running. This year is going to witness a new concept, and the new concept is going to be that the beefs and everything are coming from Dubai with the chips and everything. That's what we're introducing, including photographies. So once you match the time, you match the step in and step out, your pictures are captured, you go online, you see your result, you can print pictures of you live throughout the event.
In the Premier League, Manchester United have a chance to seal their qualification for the Champions League tonight when they host Chelsea at the Old Trafford Stadium. United need just a point from their remaining 2 matches to seal a place in the top 4, and the win in tonight's game against Chelsea would provide the Red Devils less worry ahead of their FA Cup final showdown against rivals Manchester City.
The champions of England get a guard of honour from their opponents today, Chelsea.
This Premier League season is all but over, but there will be some business to take care of for Manchester United as they take on Chelsea at Old Trafford tonight. The Red Devils sit 3 points clear of Liverpool with the game in hand, needing just 1 point from the final 2 matches of the season to secure a place in next season's UEFA Champions League. A 1-0 win thanks to Casemiro's bicycle kick kept Manchester United in the driving seat for a top. Eric Ten Hag's side have the final 2 games scheduled at Old Trafford and will be looking to better their already impressive home record in the league against Chelsea. Man United have conceded only 8 goals at home this campaign, and no side in the league has lost fewer games at home.
First we have to win the game tomorrow, and so get the job done, and yeah. And then it's about the judgment from others, if it's a good performance or a bad performance or a normal performance. We are in a project. We want to go back and to win trophies. We win 1 trophy. We want to win more trophies. We want to compete with the best.
Chelsea fell to the hands of the champions last week. The Blues fans will not want to relive this campaign anytime soon, having been confirmed to finish outside the top half the season after a massive splash in the last 2 transfer windows. Frank Lampard will hope to end a forgettable term strongly, but his results haven't been particularly helpful for his former club. 7 losses out of the 9 games he's been in charge doesn't make good readings for Chelsea, but they will be going into this game without any pressure.
And the players have to show them that there is, in terms of their personal and collective approach to it in the game, because we'll obviously have to go there with a very good mentality, because they're a good team that are fighting for something that, you know, we've fought for many years, and now we're not in that position.
A win for Chelsea takes them up to 11th place on the table, which is the highest position Chelsea can possibly finish in the Premier League this season.
Fuad Uki has emerged as the new chairman of the Lagos State Football Association, LSFA. Uki defeated Tade Aziz to replace Sheyi Akimomi as head of Lagos football. TVC Sports correspondent Solomon Ajiziogo witnessed the carnival-like election at the Mobola Johnson Arena, Onikon. And after these reports, Abosede will be back to continue with the rest of the news.
This seemed like a political rally more than a football election in the open field of the Mobolaji Johnson Arena, Onikan. Delegates from 14 constituencies turned up to elect a new board of the Lagos State Football Association, LSFA. This was a 2-horse race between Fuad Uki and the former head of the national referees body, Tade Aziz, for the chairman of Lagos Football. Aziz was looking to step up from number 2 to number 1 on the Lagos Football Board. And contesting for the second time, owner of 36 Lion FC, Gafar Hamid, was up against former technical director Dotun Koka for the vice chairman. In the presence of former members and heads of Lagos FA, as well as monitoring team from the Nigeria Football Federation NFF, Fuad Oki defeated Tade Aziz by 13 votes to 1 to emerge as the new chairman of Lagos FA.
Football resuscitation in Lagos, as you know, if we can get it right again in Lagos, Nigerian football will go back to where it should be. And that's the celebration you're seeing.
Liamid also defeated Koka by 10 votes to 4 to become the new vice chairman.
So it's going to be all-inclusive football development in Lagos. We will get coaches involved, we will get ex-internationals involved, we will get referees involved, we will get investors involved, we will get corporate bodies involved. Football will rise again in Lagos.
Just one member survived the clean sweep of the former board as Yemisi Cole returned re-elected as the only woman in the FA.
They have a lot of things to do. The facilities are not there. When you go around Lagos, hardly you see a football field. Your boys can play, unlike our time. You see, so by the grace of God, God will direct us and we'll find a solution to all these problems.
Today's election into the board of the Lagos State Football Association LSFA seemed more than a football election. At another time of trying, Gafar Liamid of 36 Lion emerged as vice chairman, while Fuad Oki is the new chairman of the Lagos State FA board. Solomon Ajizugu, TVC News, Lagos.
Well, let's turn attention outside Nigeria now. A man has been arrested after a car crashed into the gate outside Downing Street. The Metropolitan Police said he had been held by armed officers on suspicion of criminal damage and dangerous driving. One witness said he saw officers pointing tasers at a suspect who was held to the floor as he was arrested. There were no reports of any injuries, and police said it is not currently being treated as terror-related. A police cordon was set up in Whitehall, the main road running past Downing Street in the UK, as officers with sniffer dogs were seen outside the gate. The incident happened at 1620 BST, police said, and the road has now been reopened. That's it on TVC News at 7. Thank you for watching. I'll be back with more updates at 10, but at the top of the hour, we'll bring you politics tonight. Please stay with us.